What's going on, everybody? Top of the morning to you. What's happening? What's happening, everybody? Thanks for tuning in as always. Appreciate you guys. Um, Happy Saturday to everybody. Uh, my Saturday didn't start off the way I would have planned it. Unfortunately, you know, you get everything in your mind prepped. You're like, okay, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. I don't know if any of y'all like McDonald's Big Breakfast. Okay. I know it's not the greatest food. People crave it. Then you eat it. Then you're like, what did I just do? Right. But the point is, it's always been there. And sometimes when you yearning and craving, uh, you know, something, you just go for it, even if it's not the smartest decision. But as fate would have it, yesterday I decided to get McDonald's breakfast. And you know what? I got to McDonald's at 10:30. You know what they told me? McDonald's breakfast is finished. I was like, damn it. So today I was craving it again. I said, you know what? I got to get it. So I ordered it. Got it here. I'm all ready to eat it. Then I go to the microwave to heat it up a little bit. I dropped it on the floor. Let me just tell you, this face is not the face of a happy man. That was tough. But that's okay. I'm all right. I'm here rocking with you guys. And we're going to have another good day. It's crazy, man. It's pissed me off all this time craving it. Oh, man. Yeah. Big task at hand. Thank you, man. He said that could be divine intervention. Yeah, you might be right, bro. Maybe it was for the best. I appreciate you, man. It's crazy. Oh, man. Let me shout out you guys. Thank you for being here and rocking with us. Walter Blackman Jr., as always. Thank you. At work waiting on the show. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. I was trying to gather myself, man. I was ready at 11, but I was like, I'm still steaming over the fact that my freaking breakfast was on the floor. Oh, it was bad. Whew, I'm okay. Appreciate you. Always a good time to see you in the chat. Big task at hand. Thank you, brother. DSJ in the building. What's good? Appreciate you, bro. These World of Hoops, my guy. What's happening? Keith Turner in the building. What's good? Oh, Wayne Peterson is here. Wait, do you guys not hear me? Can you guys hear me? Hopefully you can hear me. Yeah, you can hear me because you guys have commented. Wayne, I don't know. Maybe check the connection to YouTube and come in and out, or maybe you got the YouTube on mute. I hope you guys can hear me. Let me know if you can't hear me. Oh, okay. Wayne says we're good. All right. Hey, Foxy in the building. What's going on, brother? Good to see you, man. Haven't seen you in a little bit. Appreciate you as always. Judah Hebrew Lion is in the building. What's going on, brother? Salute. Hey, man, I was craving, bro. Yeah, I know. I need to change things up, bro. But hey, I will tell you this. One good thing I have been trying to do, and it's been tough, is I've been trying to cut out the sweet drinks for a little bit. I mean, I still have my coffee. I got to have my coffee, but I've been drinking more water. Even the delicious juice that may be in the fridge, I'm like, nope, I'm staying away from it. What's good, Kareem Grant? Appreciate you, brother. What up, twin? Kerry Cox in the building. Appreciate you as always. Sha Powers, what's good? Let's see. Almighty Finesse, what's happening? What's happening? Did I get everybody right now? Jet Life, what's going on, man? Appreciate you. Thank you for tuning in. My guy John from Still Knick Fans. Oh man, what's going on, brother? Appreciate you. Ron Sarmiento in the building. What's happening? All right. And let me give a special shout out and thank you to Walter Blackman Jr. Appreciate you for the generous super chat. Dude, you didn't have to do that. I hope you didn't feel bad because I told you I dropped my breakfast on the floor. That definitely wasn't the intention, man. Thank you, man. It's all right, bro. It's all right. Listen, it is what it is. We okay. We rocking. We here. We here. As long as I'm alive, I'm able to get up every morning, and you know, be with my family, you know, have my friends around, be able to talk to you guys about the Knicks, and you know, all the other things that come with life. I'm happy. So we good. We good either way. All right. So let me do this. Put this in the chat so I know I did it. Thank you guys as always. Smash that like button. We appreciate you. You know, definitely always supporting the show. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much. All right, so let's do this. Let's get ourselves situated. Let's hit the intro, and then we'll come right back and get into everything. And you know what? Because there's some stuff we got to talk about. I mean, people are, you know, freaking out a little bit, and this show is called Know the Ledge. All right, so I'm trying to talk some people off the ledge, and hopefully we can have a really good Saturday and feel good about everything after we're done. All right, so let me get this out of here. Appreciate you once again, Walter Blackman. All right, we'll be right back. Yeah. We are back, folks. So hopefully you guys are having a great Saturday. You know, and things are working out wherever you are. If you're in the East Coast, it started off. I woke up this morning, it was raining. Looks like the sun is coming out. I know they said it's probably going to rain again later, but right now it's starting to clear up and get nice out there again. It's going to be steamy though with that humidity, but yeah, man, I think, you know, make the best of it wherever you are. And in other places, I know you may be dealing with much better weather, so get out there and enjoy it at some point today. But if you're rocking with us now, thank you for being here. We appreciate it as always. So I think I want to talk a little bit about the Summer League, you know, right now, because the Donovan Mitchell topic is just, it's a wild one, and we could talk about it forever. It is what it is, man. It's a hotbed of people's emotions. So why don't we talk about the NBA Summer League and our New York Knicks? First off, let's say this. Last year's New York Knicks team in the Summer League, I thought, was better than this year's team, but in the end, we found out it wasn't. Now, maybe it was like the talent was there, but there was a lot of inexperience because, you know, it was their first Summer League for some of the guys that we were featuring, and so that's why we didn't really get further than we actually wound up getting. This year, you know, you got some of the same players, and you know the results are a lot better. The team construction is a lot better as far as we've got a lot of guys who bought into the defensive side of the basketball, and I think that's what's helping. And that's the standout. And that's one of those things when you think about Tom Thibodeau, you know, you can see that's where Tom Thibodeau makes his money. That's where he separates himself, because when you can instill defensive principles in young guys and get them to go after it, you know, it makes a big difference, because so many young guys, they think defense is an afterthought. It's a side dish to the main course. The main course is the offense, right? They're going out there, they're trying to get their buckets, get their points, because that's what people remember. They remember the highlights on the offensive end. And so that's one of those things where you look at it and you say, you appreciate Thibodeau's ideas about defense. And, you know, obviously he's got his coaching staff bought in. Dice Yoshimoto is definitely, you know, one of those that is instilling these things. And it looks good, man. I mean, the way these young Knicks are playing in the summer league, that defense is intense. It's tough to sustain it for 4 quarters, no matter, you know, whether it's 10-minute quarters or 12-minute quarter, whatever it is, it's tough. They've done a pretty good job at it. I think the only issue that the young Knicks have had is they ran into issues on the offensive end, right? Because they came out, you know, firing on all cylinders on defense. They score quick, they score early, but then after the other team hits them with their best shot, they start to kind of fold a little bit or come back down to earth. But I will say I like what they did in the last game. They played pretty consistently, and they stayed within the game, right, until they got into the 4th quarter, and then they started to separate themselves, and they gave themselves a chance to win the game, and then eventually they did win the game. So I wonder what you guys think about the Knicks having a chance to win the championship in the Summer League. We know it's a Summer League championship, and you may say that it means nothing. It's not an NBA championship. We know that. But for some of these young kids, it's a step in the right direction. You know, people remember when Mike Miller was coaching the G League team, that G League team won the championship. People were like, it's the G League. But, you know, let me tell you something. That was something for them young guys. And if any of them young guys got to come up and play with the big squad, it's a confidence booster. It helps. You know, people like to win. And I'm actually assuming that probably in the G League, if you win, you might get a little boost in pay, a little bonus or something. So that is important, at least in that realm. Yeah. So I'm just thinking, like, I know it doesn't mean much, and then, you know, and the Summer League rings. I mean, whatever. You know, it is what it is. I don't know, bro. What what did I see Foxy said? He was talking to Andrew about JJ Redick's comments on the Summer League rings. I don't know. I heard something. I don't know if it was real or not, if people were joking, something about them being leftover rings from something else. I don't know what it is, but hey, it is what it is. The point is to win. You know, whatever trophies they want. I mean, look, the WNBA, man. Look what they did with come on, man. They gave this lady a teacup. I don't know. Like, I don't know what they're doing. It is what it is. Let me get my guy here. Let's see. Boom, boom, boom. All right, let me switch to this. Boom. Okay. Get my guy D in here.
Yo.
Oh.
What's good? What's good,
brother?
I'm gravy. I had a talk with your Siamese last night, and there was something very instrumental that he said that is very mind-blowing. So I'll wait till you get into the topic.
All right. Hold that. Because, you know, right before this, I had a talk with him for about an hour. Like, come on, man. Yeah. So I hear you. I know where you're going, though. That's cool. This is great.
Yeah.
Look at him. Yeah, look at him just jump into the chat. Look at him. Oh man. Okay. So
Funny guy, bro.
all right. I was just looking at somebody. Okay. Yeah, I don't know if I mentioned him before. All right, there he goes. Sherwin, appreciate you. Thank you. Let me star your comment. I'll get back to it. Andrew K, what's going on, brother? He says Summer League champions. Yeah, it could be out there. It could be about to happen. Who knows? We'll see. I like it because I love the rematch games, man. I love that. All last season, I couldn't wait for the Knicks to play teams that beat them, and have a chance to play them again. The revenge game, and so being able to play Portland. I think the Knicks underestimated Portland. I think we all underestimated Portland when we looked at that roster. And Portland came to play, and they gave the Knicks a little bit of a wake-up call.
Right.
So it should be interesting.
Jabari Walker looked fantastic, by the way.
Yes, he did. And Trendon Watford wasn't bad in that game either. I think he had 19. Yeah.
Swiss Army knife type of guy, can handle the ball. It does a little bit of everything well. Not really good at anything. A Justice Winslow type of archetype there. Hopefully more upside for his sake.
Right. I agree with that. Salute to Cash Out James. Appreciate you, brother. Jalbino in the building. Appreciate you. Core Mega is here. What's good? Okay.
Queensbridge.
Banging Aces live and direct. What's good? Appreciate you. And the man of the hour, Feet Sports, is in the building.
Man, don't give him a red carpet like that. You know how big his head will get. He can't even fit in the room.
Guys, let me just tell you that Feats has a lot of strong opinions about the Knick organization, and he's really in favor of them getting this Donovan Mitchell deal done. I'll put it to you like that. So, Kevin Taylor, what's good? Appreciate you. JT Riddick is in the building. Okay. All right. So, excuse me, got to clear the throats. I think that while the Summer League thing, it's not something that is something that really matters in the grand scheme of things. I think it's good for experience for the young players, the young guys. And, let's also be honest about the fact for some of these young guys, this is their NBA championship. Some of these young guys may not even have a chance to really get anywhere in the league. So these little victories, if you have a chance at it, it is what it is. It's all about winning. Yes, it's a punchline. Yes, we know all that, and people will love to bring it up, especially if the Knicks don't win a championship in the next few years. They're like, oh, well, at least they got that Summer League champ. I know how it all works. I get it, but it is what it is. Salute to Big Mike. Appreciate you. Vaughn Allen, what's good? D, let me ask you this. Do you think that if the Knicks are able to win the Summer League championship, do you think that helps some of the young guys that are on the roster or may be on the roster, because we don't know what's going to happen if they get traded or not, but like guys like Deuce, guys like Grimes, Sims, do you think that kind of helps their confidence level that, hey, at least we worked together, we gelled, and we were able to do something? All these big name stars are being, talked about in the Summer League with, the Paulos, everybody. And, we're the second year guys, and we came together and we were able to win. Do you think that means something to them?
I think any form of confidence is good confidence. And, if it makes Deuce McBride feel a little bit more comfortable on the basketball court to a duration of his playing time, that's great. If it makes Quentin Grimes feel like he can manipulate the pick and roll and attack the closeout and get to his spot, that's great. Whether he could do it or not is a different story. But for him to have the mentality is great. If Sims thinks that he could become more of a versatile defender on the perimeter, and he feels that he could do that, and Summer League gave him that confidence and that conviction, that's great. I wouldn't put too much stock into it because I understand that there's two different animals going on between Summer League and when you get into the NBA grind of 82 games. But it's encouraging, and I think it's a small step in the right direction, absolutely. But I wouldn't project anything crazy like, yo, Sims is going to have a crazy year because I'm not doing that. Yeah.
No. We don't want to do that. I think that's just what it is, guys. If they win it, they win it. And it'd be good for them to win it. Because they show that it also I think it just helps echo the sentiments of defense being a valuable piece of what you're trying to do to create winning. Because a lot of these other teams, they're running their different systems and stuff, but the offense is kind of what's shining. In the Knicks on the Knicks side of it, it's really that defense, that intensity, the way they're pressuring guys, they're getting up, pressing them up court. That it looks good, and I think that's going to be the biggest draw that you get out of this. That's how I look at it, at least. I mean, because I didn't expect them to be as active as they were on defense in the summer league. It's good to see. Of course, it's nice when you have young bodies who can execute certain things that you're trying to do. It's harder when you're doing it with these veterans. Yeah, they may not be getting up and down the court the way we'd like them to, but it's nice either way.
Yeah, it's encouraging.
Yeah, it's definitely encouraging. I don't know if they're going to hang, if the Knicks win the Summer League championship, Almighty Finesse, if they're going to hang the banner in the rafters in the MSG. I'm not sure about that.
So we're going to with Summer League championship T-shirts and stuff like that?
Yeah, I don't know. And I'm going to get to that in a little bit, Vaughn, because that's going to take up most of the conversation, believe me.
Oh, we got a lot for that.
Oh, yeah. I could have just, man. Whew. Jermaine Royster in the building. What's good? Hey, man. Jay Money's in the building. What's good, Jay Money?
It's good, Jay.
Let's see. It's Me is in the building. What's good? We survived 100 people. Appreciate you as always. Thank you for being here. Ajay's in the building. What's going on, bro?
It's good, Ajay.
All right. You know what? Let's get to it. I said I was going to get back to Sherwin's comment. So right now I see two people. Big task at hand wants us to tell the Knicks organization not to do it. I got you, brother. Sherwin says Donovan Mitchell to the Knicks is a bad deal. If we're not getting a Giannis, a KD, a Luka, Embiid, Kawhi, Zion, Jason Tatum, Stephen Curry, Nikola Jokic, it's not worth it. I understand where you're going. I understand what you're trying to say. What I would say to you, and I'll let obviously D give his take and feel about it, is that I think that you don't know exactly what Donovan Mitchell is yet. I don't think Donovan Mitchell knows what Donovan Mitchell is yet. I think what we've seen from Donovan Mitchell is good stuff, but we also saw some negative stuff from him on the defensive end and the fact that he hasn't really won anything with Utah, right? But then you also got to look at the roster construction around Donovan. They bought into a couple good pieces, but time frame wise didn't necessarily work. Mike Conley was a really good player for Utah, but his window of his prime and Donovan Mitchell's prime don't coincide. Like Michael Conley is on his way out. Donovan Mitchell is still elevating, and he's about to be in his prime in another 2 years. Then you got Rudy Gobert. Now, was the Rudy Gobert signing a bad thing, keeping him? No. Rudy Gobert is a game changer for them on the defensive end. On the offensive end, he's not a liability. I guess he could do a lot more than some of these players. He's definitely a lot more valuable on offense than Mitchell Robinson is. At least he hits his free throws and stuff like that. He can do a couple things around the basket. But when you think about how you're building the team around him, Was it the smartest thing to go all in with the Rudy Gobert, even though he was Defensive Player of the Year at the center position? Because remember, you put 208 million or 205 million, invested in him. Could they have invested in someone else who was a rim protector and paid half of that money and then used the other half to go bring in another solid offensive piece so that Donovan is not the only one carrying the offensive load? Like, there's different ways that Utah might have been able to construct the roster. And I'm not saying that's the best way, but that's an alternative way. And there's even more alternative ways. There's all types of things they could have done. But I think for Donovan, the biggest thing is the fact that he's had to carry the load. Bogdanovich has been a good complimentary piece, but when you look at outside of, especially you watch,
he's not a second guy,
right? He's not a second guy, and they didn't have anybody outside of that, like Royce O'Neal and Royce the 5'9", whatever you want to call him. Not enough. So, if you bring Donovan Mitchell to the New York Knicks, and you have a guy in Jalen Brunson, who we know is, whatever he is on defense, but on offense, he can score. You've seen him light Donovan up, as a matter of fact, in the playoffs, just as an example. Then you've got RJ. RJ, for all his inefficiencies and what he struggled with last year because of the volume and everything he was doing, he still averaged 20 points. You got Julius Randle. Say what you will about Julius and what he dealt with last year, still 20 and 10. And then you got Mitchell Robinson, who is a lesser version of Rudy Gobert, who can be your defensive rim protector. But I just mentioned altogether, you got 4 guys who can average 20 plus points. If you think about it, that's 80 points right there from your starting lineup. And that's being I'm underwhelming, because some of these guys might be able to give you more. And we know Donovan can go above 20. He can go to 25, 20, who knows? So the point is, he would be surrounded by better offensive weapons. His load is less. And then when he does stuff, he can also save his energy. He can come at spurts. He can do things differently. And you might see even a better Donovan Mitchell, not someone who's got to, be the focal point of the offense and take how many shots going up and down the court and then not being as effective as he normally could be. So I think there's benefits to Donovan with the Knicks. And you also have a really good defensive coach in Tom Thibodeau, because I think Tom Thibodeau's biggest knock has always been his offense. But if you surround Tom Thibodeau with a team of offensive weapons and you sprinkle in some guys who might be able to play, some good defense on the roster, and some of the guys who are offensive talents can buy into the defense, I mean, who knows? The Knicks could be special. They could turn some eyes. They got a lot of work to do still. I'm just saying it's an opportunity where it could look good. Go ahead. I know you have more to expound upon.
Yeah. Well, first I'll start off with Sherwin, then I'll go to your points. First of all, I'm digging the Nick hat. That Nick hat is fresh. I like
Thanks,
that.
brother.
And I see you got a new mic, or you adjusted it.
Yeah, I just adjusted it and added my mic stand. It is what it is.
It's looking fresh, bro. I like it.
Thank you, brother.
Okay. Sherwin, I will hardly ever say this to you. I completely agree with you. But there's a but. And there's a large but that I think is going over a lot of people's heads. And we'll get into that. That's my same argument. My same argument is that I didn't feel Donovan is at the same tier as your Lukas, your Giannis's, your Jokic's. And so that's why I was against it at first. But thinking about it and pondering some more, and we'll get into that in a bit, there is a but that has to be considered into all this. So, and Ron, what you were saying, my big thing is that Donovan Mitchell's ball usage rate with Utah was at 35% last year. And it's been in the mid 30s, like that, low 30s for the last couple of years. So it's a thing where, how would that work exactly? Because now Brunson wants to move up from his ball usage, which was about 23, 24 last year. Randall's going to want his ball usage. RJ's going to want his ball usage. Mitchell Robinson may even want some more ball usage because he's making $15 million a year. So it's not really the group of guys that I feel could be like, oh, you know, we'll do this by committee. You know, okay, you get your spots here, and maybe that's something that could develop. But as like player profile, instinctually, they're not like that. So that'll be interesting to find out. Another thing too is that I hear you about the idea of trying to build around Donovan, but the issue is that one of the issues is that if you pick him up, you have no flexibility, and you could be trending towards that salary cap hell. Because Brunson's making 26, Donovan's going to make 30 plus, Mitchell's at 15, Julius Randle's going to be 24, 25. You're going to have to pay RJ the next year. Evan Fournier's still on your team making 18. You see? And I don't think Ainge would be interested in taking an Evan Fournier, a Julius Randle type of player with that contract. I think he's looking for young guns and draft capital. That's that. So it's a precarious situation. But there's a solution. We'll get into that.
Okay. And I agree with you that I don't think he wants those type of players either. Now, does that mean that even if he doesn't want them, he might still have to take one of them if it helps make the money work? But the good thing is this is where I think Leon Rose does shine a little bit, and the capologist, Brock Aller. You're not beholden to a bunch when it comes to like Fournier's deal's got one more. It's got next year and the year after. He's got 2 years left on the deal. That might be a lot to swallow for some, but you know, if you're in a rebuilding situation and you're trying to tank, because if that's what Utah's trying to do, having one Evan Fournier on your team is not going to make a big difference. I don't think that you're going to have to worry about him, you know, being the X factor in winning games. I think they'll still lose a bunch of games.
Well, don't look to flip him because
even if they flip him, right. So I don't think he makes that big of a deal. If you go with somebody like a Derrick Rose, say they throw him into the package to help offset money. Even with him, they have a choice that you don't know how much he's going to play, and you also could decide to just waive him. Like you could take the cap hit and you know, swallow that and get rid of him, or you could flip him and do the thing that the Knicks might want to think about doing and get him over to Chicago so he could retire and ride off into the sunset. It is what it is. But I definitely think that with regards to a Donovan Mitchell, you're going to have to pony up a lot of picks. And to me, a lot of picks is anything above 4. You're going to give 4 or 5, maybe even 6 picks. I don't know, but you're going to have to pony up some picks. That's without question.
Yeah.
They want some young talent. That's fine. If they want a Quentin Grimes or something like that, and maybe it takes Emmanuel Quickly or Obi, it's a possibility. It might take 1 or 2 of them. I just don't think you want to have to give up Emmanuel Quickly, Obi, Emmanuel Quickly, Obi, Cam Reddish, Grimes, McBride. I don't think you have to give them everybody. You know, they're going to want some young talent, but they don't even know how the young talent's going to play out for them. They don't know who they're going to keep, and then you trade these guys over them. Then they wind up cutting them or trading them somewhere else because they're assets. If you can avoid putting so much into the pot, I would. But the reason why I'm even bringing this up is because part of me, and you know, a lot of people are going back and forth now on Twitter because they're impatient and stuff about this whole thing. You know, part of the thing that people are talking about is the fact that, you know, is this a done deal? There's some conspiracy theories out there. Some people are saying that it is a done deal. I'm not saying this is true. Some people are saying that it is a done deal, but they're waiting for the summer league to be finished because of the fact that the Knicks want a chance to have these summer league guys go out there and play for the championship rather than having to pull them out of the summer league. These are all theories. I'm not saying they're right. I'm just saying this is a revolving thing that's going around.
Right.
And So I don't know about that. But what I will say is, then you got the other side of things where people are saying that it's basically going to happen because these are the two sides most willing to make it happen. It's just all about narrowing down what are the parameters of the deal.
Yeah, what are the terms?
Right, which is what I believe. I do believe that is probably true. Let's see here. The thing that I'm curious about is do you feel like this deal has to get done, D?
You see what you did there, Ron? You moved too damn fast. And now all of a sudden, now we got to get into the topic now. Okay, good.
Look, I mean, I really want to. All right, we can hold on to it a little longer. Yeah, let's hold on to it. I'm gonna get you with something else. Hold on, we'll get back to it. Excuse me.
But before you go, we got about 100 watching. We're only gonna have 37 likes, guys. Let's get those likes up. Let's support the platform. Let's get this consecutively on the algorithm, please.
Yes, thank you for that, brother. Appreciate it. I'm looking for something and I don't see it. Weird. All right. Well, I'll work on it again. I'll get it back up.
Okay.
I had something. Yeah.
I was going to do it. Shout out to the chat. I hope everybody's doing well. I hope everybody has planned for a great weekend. Shout out to the Hoop family that's in here too. Don't forget, tomorrow we have a show at Sunday at 12, and we're going to be discussing this. We're getting into some other topics as well. Anybody that you left out, or do you got everybody? We got some new guys in here now.
I think there might be some new guys in here. Yeah, definitely. Shout out to Ice Mike. Appreciate you. Thank you for joining. My guy, Exo Sports Talk is in the building. My guy, Hewlett Samuel is in the building. What's going on?
Hewlett.
What's going on? Appreciate you. Be civilized. I don't know if I got you, but I'm saying shout out to you, brother. Appreciate you. Yeah, I think I got the other people that we were talking about before. Yeah, cool. Yeah, so that's pretty weird, guys, because I had put a quick slide together and I don't see it. But anyway, irregardless, the point is another thing that came out last night, which it's not saying much, but it's saying something. Apparently. Oh, I know where it is. I got it, guys. Let me work on bringing that up. Hold on 1 second. Okay. I know what happened.
I'm really digging Be Civilized's little picture thing there.
Yeah. It's dope.
I'm digging that. Let's see what's going on in the chat while you go ahead and get that together. Shout out to Angel Torres joining the chat. Very nice to see you. Did you shout out Moneybag?
I did not.
Okay. Moneybag, very good to see you. Thank you for coming through. Ken BX, thank you for coming through. Very nice to see you guys on this beautiful Saturday. Hopefully you guys got great things planned for this weekend with your family and yourselves.
Angel Torres in the building. I see you. What's going on, Angel? Appreciate you. All right. Okay. Now I know what it was. Me trying to be all fancy schmancy. That's what happened. You get fancy schmancy, you start bringing in stuff that's not saved the same way. That's why you can't find it. All right, guys. So this is what I was talking about. And like I said, it's a small thing, but you can say that it's kind of what some people have been thinking. And if he's saying it, that's the feeling that's going on locally. So last night, through SNY, Ian Begley was being interviewed, and he said a deal eventually will get done here, but I'd be surprised if it happens in the coming days. So the biggest part of that was the deal will get done between Utah and the Knicks, and And that was his latest take on the Donovan Mitchell trade. They talked about a bunch of other stuff with him that we don't need to get into. It doesn't necessarily matter to the Knicks. But yeah, so that's the main part. A deal will eventually get done here between these two teams. Yeah, and as you can see, that's why I couldn't find it, because I try to be all fancy schmancy, glowing borders and stuff. Look at me. Who am I? Who do I think I am?
Yeah, a guy that's trying to be fancy schmancy.
Yeah, that's what it was. That's what happened.
Shout out to Andy Yen.
I'm sorry?
Andy Yen's in the building.
Appreciate you, Andy. Knickerbocker is here. Appreciate you. Thank you, guys. Bodega Wi-Fi is in the building. What's going on, Bodega? So once again, let me just refresh and put that back up in the house. There you go. All right. Victor Roca is in the building. What's going on, Victor? Why do I have to say it like that? I don't know. Don't mind me.
Came out naturally, too.
It's just how I am, man. Anyway, yeah, so the reason why what's up, Jay Boogie? Appreciate that. Win Summer League, the signing of Jalen Brunson. If we pull off this trade for Spida, we would have had the best offseason out of everybody. Work, Leon. Shout out to the chat and the panel. I appreciate that, good, Jay Boogie. And if they are able to get Donovan Mitchell, I think people would say this is definitely a very successful offseason. I agree. Pointing to what D said, there is issues with regards to how the mix of players works together, how they gel, figuring out how to manage the personalities. That's the thing that Tibb has to do. How does Tibb manage the rotation? Because, we think Tibbs has a hard time letting these young guys play. Now you bring in Jalen Brunson. Now, if you bring in Donovan Mitchell, when are these guys going to play? Like, if whoever's left on the team, like, when are they going to be there? Yeah, So yeah, it's interesting, and I know that's some of the that's why some people, even they're like, Donovan Mitchell's a good player, but I don't want him to take away time from the young guys. This is a hotbed topic, guys. I understand it, but I mean, we got to be realistic here. The Knicks are treading towards being an improved team. They're trying to win. All right. We're not like a traditional rebuild. I was going back and forth with my guy for about an hour about this earlier before the show.
He should be here.
He should be here. He said he might be here. I put the link in the chat. He's not here. I think that we're a little funky because we're not traditional. We're not like an OKC. We're not Detroit because we don't have to be. Those franchises, not only have they been bad and they're trying to trend upward. Oh man, I spoke too soon. He's making his way in. They're trending upward, but they're not the Knicks. The Knicks are still the most profitable franchise in the NBA. And they could be losing and still be the most profitable with sold out, arena. So
not even a problem.
It's not even a thought. They can do whatever they want out there because the money's still coming in.
Right.
So it's a little different. And that's why they don't have to do a full rebuild the way you would want to and break it down and build it back up from scratch. Mm-hmm. That's why they can play around and tinker and say, okay, we brought in 7 or 8 young players. Now we can decide to sprinkle in these stars and see what we can do. They have that luxury. I will say that. Now, is it the best way? We don't know because we got to see how the whole roster shakes out and if you're putting together the right pieces that can work together. We still don't know. We think that Julius Randle issues were mental, and that outside of that, from what his teammates have said, he's a great teammate. He works with everybody in practice. He's a good person to have around. He's not jealous of any of the other players on the team. This is what we've been told. Now, if it comes out this year and we get Donovan, we have Jalen, and then Julius starts acting a certain way because he's not the focal point, then we're in another situation. I don't think that's the case, but it could happen. We don't know. I don't know that enough. I don't know that much about him to know the way he thinks. I think he's a good guy when it comes to his teammates, because if he wasn't, I think that some people may, and rather than say anything good, they just wouldn't really make a comment about it. But they've been saying good things, even Obi. And Obi, has been around him. Julius threw a party right after the season ended or something, or while the season was going on, and Obi was there too apparently. So I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, let me get my guy Feet Sports in the building, in the house. Prophet, appreciate you. Oh, look at this. This is the draft. The draft crew is back.
Welcome. What's up?
Seamless fit.
There you go. There you go. What's happening, brother?
The situation got me so messed up. I didn't shave, so y'all gotta work with me today because it's been hitting me hard. This trade not getting done so far, but you know,
so you're in favor for the trade?
All 100% in favor of the trade. I think the Knicks have drawn a line in the sand, right? You know, with the Brunson signing. So I think it's really important that they start to decide where they're going to be. You know, big thing for me was just I can't really tell if they're going to make a way for the Quicklies, for the Toppins in the rotation. So if you're not going to make a way and completely commit, you got to pick one way or the other. So if you're not going to do that, you go for the competitiveness now. That's for Julius. It's actually a functional starting lineup with Julius, Hartenstein. You got RJ, you got Mitchell if you can acquire him, and you got Brunson. So I think that's going to be functional. Now, we did have a conversation about this, D, how far that goes. Okay, but the question is, if you keep the young guys, are you going to commit to them? Well, you've already shown you're not committing to them getting minutes because they need minutes to develop. So that's just kind of where I stand right now. I know people are going to be like, well, that's a lot to give up. But the question is, are any of those 10 assets that you're thinking about, are any of them going to become all-stars? Donovan's an all-star. And
no, Donovan is a star.
Yeah.
I want to say superstar because, I don't think he's at that tier one, but he's definitely a star in this league.
Yeah, and that's important. And then also, I was sharing with D, one of my friends shared a great article. Less than 10% of draft picks after 15 become all-stars.
That's cool.
Less than 10%. So we're talking about 90% of guys that get drafted at 15 and above, which is where those lottery picks are not going to be all-stars. You're trading for one. And if you don't get quickly and top in the time, they're not going to be all-stars either. I mean, so that's just where I stood on it. I've been talking you guys, both of your ears off, at least an hour apiece over the last 12 hours. So I'm going to shut up now.
No. Wait. Cut that crap. You brought a very interesting piece of this puzzle that you didn't get to build on. So I guess we might as well do it now, Ron.
Yeah, go on.
Since we got the guy here. Okay, good. All right. Here's the thing, right? I'm still torn between this because there's so many interesting arguments for both sides of it, right? So, example, right? People are reluctant to give up the draft capital, right? Which is the farm, right? And they're also hesitant to give up some of the young players that are a developing young core because, one, it's something that we haven't done since Patrick Ewing. Okay, and even that wasn't really like that because it's really just around Patrick. It wasn't like he had a core around him. It was his Pat, right? And two, we haven't sat on this many draft picks forever. So I get where people are coming from, where it's like they don't feel Donovan's that guy. Guess what, guys? I feel the same way you do. I don't feel he's the number one guy. I understand he's already 25, and I get it. I just don't think he is, right? And especially if I am going to make him the guy, can I at least do him a favor and construct him around a better roster that can complement his game a lot better than jamming him into rush hour traffic with Jalen Brunsons that can't play defense, with Julius Randles that can't play defense, with RJ Barrett that can't play defense, right? So I get it. But here's the other side. And Prop, this is where you come in now, right? This was the big piece. We had already known that the Knicks are an abysmal organization. We already know that they don't develop. We already know that we don't like the way they handle their business. And that's the reason why you have to think about doing this trade. When was the last rookie that was developed under this system? It was Charlie Ward and now it's Mitchell Robinson. But let me ask you a question. Has Mitchell Robinson greatly improved and grown his game like that, where it's blossomed into something from the foundation? And he plays exactly the fourth year like he played his first year. The only thing is that he put a cap on his foul troubles and his defensive positioning. But as far as like offensively, if anything, switching out on the perimeter has gotten worse as time has gone. So has he really developed? RJ Barrett, I asked the question. I could show you Duke footage where it looks exactly like it did just a couple of months ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I'm almost done. So now, do I bring in Mitchell and say F that, F the farm, F the young core, because are they properly going to be developed anyway? It's been 20 years under this James Dolan ownership, and not one of them has been developed. What makes you think is going to happen now?
And, for me, the biggest issue I'm having is there seems to be a disconnect between the front office and the coach. You want to keep young guys, but you don't have a coach who's committed to development.
Yeah.
That's a huge no. That doesn't work. That doesn't work. So you got to commit one way or the other. You got a solid coach.
Yeah.
So there's no doubt he's a solid coach, but he's always had a star with him when he's done well. Okay. And consistently done well. I don't want to say that because Julius was, in that space. But I think if you add a Donnie, it helps him to be his best version of himself as a coach. He gets to operate where it's his strength, which is leading guys that not having to do the little stuff. Now we're just schematics, guys that can go. He's just letting them go, letting them perform. And we really, if you think about the organization and where you want to be, you got to put everybody has to be on the same connect. Well, I know that front office may not really prefer to do that, but the great thing is that they still have a young star. And I know Ron had made a great mention to the fact that all of these signings are guys that are still going to have at least 3 to 4 prime years. That's huge stuff. Normally, a lot of teams will get a guy with 2 prime years left, maybe 1 prime year left, overpay. That's not the situation. So shout out to the Knicks front office for understanding the dynamics of free agent signing and how to do it effectively, which is not signing guys at that 28, 29, because you only get 2 years of prime and you sign them 6 years. So you're getting a lot of decline years in that valuation. So they did a good job with Brunson, Hartenstein, the same thing. So all these guys are in the same trajectory, same space. It's not going to be like it was in Utah in that regard, where one guy's at one end of his career, another guy's there. There's some connectivity if you acquire Donovan. And there's another angle that I thought about that's really important. Donovan has enough appeal, presence, commitment to the city to steer things in the right direction. Not that he's going to be in charge of anything, but his positivity can influence the organization to commit to a stance and make the right decisions. That's a guy that wants to come to New York. You don't see that often. Nothing wrong with New York. I'm from New York. We all love New York. It's our home. Yes, we're difficult, but only the people from here, honestly, a lot of the time really get it. They really get like the commitment to the grind. And I think it's really important that if you're going to get a guy, Brunson gets it. It's a kid that gets it. You do best when you get guys that understand that New York culture. And I really feel like Donnie's going to be that guy. It's why, and I know the price seems high, but you got to think about what are those going to turn into. Those are all question marks. Even the players are question marks because you don't know development-wise, like D was saying. Development-wise, you can't count on it. You can't. You just can't count on it. Because they're not going to give him the minutes. There's no way he's giving them the minutes.
Yeah. So. Funny thing, shout out to Savage NYC. He says D is always negative. I don't see how it was negative. I was just giving 2 alternative positions as to which side the fan base is divided on. And I was just getting into the nuances of the fact that name me a guy that's been developed under a Knicks organization since Patrick Ewing. I will wait. Name me a time when we had a really good, well-balanced roster that consistently won at a high level besides the 90s and the 70s. I will wait. I don't get the negativity part. It's kind of weird. But I mean, Prophet's 100% right. And we know this already. So here's the thing. This is where we diverge. You think Donovan is going to evolve and somehow he's going to put New York City on his back. And all of a sudden we have these championship aspirations. And now if we go ahead and do that, they're going to build a statue of him for the Madison Square Garden.
Why not?
And I get your perspective. I just don't think he's that guy. But it is a better version of crap than the crap that you have now. It's crap with a fur jacket and some glitter. Because you know damn well, when you have a unit of Brunson, Mitchell, Randall, RJ, that has to be one of the worst perimeter defensive lineups in the league, bro. So it's going to score a lot of points. It's going to look great. It's going to be on ESPN a lot. They're going to score 120, 130 points, which I think Tom Thibodeau is going to have a heart attack by the time the 15th game comes in because it's going to be too fast for him.
For sure.
So,
right. Well,
but I don't see it pushing the needle like that. But it is a better version of it, or do you wait for the kids? I would wait for the kids. This goes against every philosophy that I have on the planet when it comes to this basketball. I want to develop the draft picks. I want to draft correctly. I want to develop them throughout the rookie contracts and have them win in 3 to 5 years. That's what I want. But the Knicks don't do it.
They won't do it.
So I'm fighting the tide and trying to do things correctly when I should just know the animal. What's the animal? The animal, in hindsight, wants to win right now. You know how I know that? Because in 20 years, they haven't developed anybody. That's how I know that.
You know, my whole thing, I'm pretty pessimistic when it comes to certain things. I'm a Met fan. I'm a Knicks fan. I'm a Giants fan.
Cynical. Had a much better word.
You want to say cynical? Fine, whatever. I've seen a lot of negative stuff happen with my sports franchises. And I've dealt with it. I've been through it for all of it. I'm one of those people that looks at things in a way like, and I'm not trying to make excuses for any organization that I follow, especially with regards to the Knicks. The Knicks have been putrid for many years. There's been a lot of issues. There's always a cause. You know, there's a cause and action for everything. And James Dolan was a big cause of a lot of it back in the day. His you know, we don't have to get back into it, but you know who he is. He's since moved away from it. Problem is, when he moved away from it, he didn't make the best choices of who he decided to bring in to help run things, right? He started with a couple, you know, different moves that were questionable. They were new, they were fresh, but it didn't work, right? And then he went full on, like, I'm going to give these fans what they want. Bring in a guy who was a former Knick, who's won championships, who's one of the greatest coaches in NBA history. And I'm not going to put him on the bench as a coach because that's not what he wants to do. I'll put him in the front office where he hasn't shown that he's ever been really successful at it. Once again, another misstep. Even if you want to say they drafted Porzingis, fine. Okay, but Porzingis ain't with the Knicks anymore. Did we get something out of it that we might still benefit from? Maybe. But my point is, even with Phil, the best thing we got out of that is because it allowed Dolan to remove himself so he could get used to the Knicks running without him being all over the mix. That's to me is the plus. That's the biggest thing we get out of that. So fine. He gets out of here. Then we get into you know, the coaches, the Hornaceks, the Fizdales, the blah, blah, blah. You guys know. And each situation was never ideal, right? Then you bring in Leon Rose, who is a boss of his own you know, agency, but you're not bringing in a boss of, hey, I'm Ron and I've got my own NBA agency and I'm going to represent these players and I've been doing pretty well. No, you're bringing in a boss who has one of the biggest successful companies in the NBA. So he knows how to handle his business. You bring him in, he's got relationships, he's been successful and he's the leader. Right? Okay, that's a start. Then you go out and you say you bring in Tom Thibodeau, because we needed some stability with our team, and the culture was, we didn't have an identity. Damn, Fizdale didn't even play offense. He just had guys out there running basic sets. Okay, I get it. But we went back and forth with this. They contradict themselves, because the good that you get from Tibbsdale, you're also getting a win now type coach who's not about the games. He's not about development. He just wants to get your players out there, cultivate them, and get the winning. Let's get the winning. That's his thing. Okay. What I think is that you have to bring in Donovan Mitchell. Do I think you have to take whatever Ainge wants, like whatever Ainge is throwing out there? No, I don't think you do that, because what I was explaining to my guy earlier today is that Leon Rose is a boss. People may not recognize him as a boss because he's in new uncharted territory. He's jumping into a situation where he's never done this before. And so they don't say, oh, he's got the cachet built up. He hasn't proven himself in this role. But in a CAA, as a head of an agency that's popular, that's been thriving for all those years, he was a boss. So he's trying to come in and say, listen, I know Danny Ainge has his way. He's built that up, but I'm Leon Rose, and I'm not going to do this. I don't care if Danny Ainge wants me to give him 5 players and 6 picks. If I don't want to do it, I'm not doing it. I'm going to figure out a way to give Danny Ainge something comparable where he's happy and something I'm willing to give up. And this is where we're at. The posturing, the going back and forth. It's 2 bosses going up against each other. And this is where Leon Rose is going to stake his claim. Either he's going to come out shining on top. He's going to give up some players that no matter what, Knicks ain't going to be happy with. The fans ain't going to be happy. But somebody's going. And then he's going to give up some picks. But it's all about if he can get it done where it's closer to what he's thinking and still satisfies Ainge. And so that's what we're dealing with. But I think the deal has to get done only because of the fact that I'm never going to stop saying this. Nobody is coming to New York. One of the ballyhooed, storied franchises in basketball.
Nobody's coming to save you.
In New York, you're making money hand over fist, whether you're a player or what. The endorsements, the deals, the notoriety, the after parties, the blah, blah, the restaurants. Everybody loves you in New York. They still not coming here. LeBron didn't come here. Durant doesn't want to come here. Kyrie on the fence, whatever. But in the end, he influenced Durant, and they wound up going to Brooklyn. Fine. And they still got to benefit from New York. Mm-hmm. Jordan, never came here, but always like, oh, I always thought about it. Fine. We heard all those conversations. And then there's other players, other marquee guys that never came to New York and had a chance to come to New York. Grant Hill, which I know you brought up, Dean, a while ago, that was a mistake on the Knicks' part. He was actually considering coming to New York, but the New York fumbled the bag on that. They had a horrible presentation, and they said the wrong things to a married man that he didn't want to hear about the New York nightlife. Okay. Bad job. I don't know who vetted those people who were putting on the presentation for Grant Hill, but they messed up. Bad job. Okay. Well, my point is, all these years, all the stars, nobody has ever come here. Now you got guys, right? Now you got guys like Julius Randle who wanted to come here. Julius is not perfect, but at least he wanted to be here. Fine. Now you got a guy in Donovan Mitchell who loves New York. He loves the Mets. He's always here. And he doesn't mind being a part of the Knicks. And he's a young player who's 25. He's going to be 26. The guy averages around 25 points per game. You go get Donovan Mitchell, and then if you have to take another direct, I know what this does is it slows down the process, right? But it puts you in a better position. At least you could say, all right, I did this. Okay, Julius Randle's contract is not horrible. You can move that. I haven't given the money to RJ yet. I can still do something with that if I need to, right? I gave Mitch money, $60 million. It's okay, not bad. I bring in Donovan, that's some money. We got Jalen, okay, but I think we can figure out, if worst comes to worst, there's a way you can figure out how to make Jalen and Donovan work, but you might have to change other things. So there's still a way to retool and change. It might not happen this year. You might have to flip things around and try to do some stuff in the offseason next year again if it don't work. But bring Donovan in. You got Jalen. Those are the two pieces. Notice how I mentioned those two guys, and I'm not talking about RJ and Randle. To me, those are the two that you focus on. And then if RJ plays well with Donovan being here this year, then you say, okay, now we know this kid is real. We put some better pieces around him. He doesn't have to focus on certain things. He can just play ball, and he looks good. We'll commit to him. And then you have to figure out what you got to do with Julius if that works. If that don't work, then you got to figure out a way to move on. But regardless if it doesn't work or not, I think Julius is going to have a good season.
Yeah.
Now, that doesn't mean the Knicks. Julius can have a good season, and the Knicks don't have a good season. Keep that in mind, guys. So I think there's still a way that you can get yourself from up out of here. But if you got a chance to get Donovan, you go get him. I was on, I don't know where I was. Maybe it was Blorange Tears or whatever. But I was talking about the 2023 free agent class. Those players that are coming out, they ain't sexy. You know, LeBron is one of them. LeBron ain't coming to the Knicks, and we don't want him. And the other names that I brought up, there's a guy, Chris Middleton is a free agent. First off, will we want Chris Middleton here? Yeah. But is Chris Middleton leaving Milwaukee and what he's got going on over there? Probably not. So when you look through all the names that I brought up, Donovan Mitchell is still the best option out of all those players. So then you're talking about another year. We got to wait till 2024 and see who's coming out then. I'm just saying at this point, the way things are stacking up, you got to go get Donovan now. All right. I said my spiel. I took my time. Let's go to D. What you think, brother?
Well, I mean, you said a lot of interesting things there. First, shout out to Knicks Fans Brazil. He's in the chat. He's ecstatic that we're talking about this, and he can't wait to have us on his show again. So shout out to Knicks Fans Brazil.
Oh, you know what? Being that you said that, D, before I don't want you to lose your train of thought. Let me just do this real quick. Shout out to Savage NYC. Appreciate you. Wellner Martinez, Mark Butler, JJ. What's good? Keyshawn, New York. Appreciate all of you guys, and Knicks Fans Brazil, definitely appreciate you, brother. And I'm glad that everything's going good with your channel. I'm just saying this because yesterday when I was looking at stuff, I saw that YouTube Brazil was down for a while. So I hope that didn't affect you too bad and everything's good. Yeah. All right, D, my fault.
Yeah, it's all good. What was I going to say? I was going to say something along the lines of that. Why is it, right? Because you said something that made me think of it. Like, why is it that if you're the most valued franchise in the world, and it's been like that for years, it's not like a new phenomenon. Like, it's been like that for years. Why wouldn't you go over, and you know that you don't develop it, you don't prioritize it, right? Why don't you just shoot to go over the luxury tax every year, right? And just try to assemble the Avengers every year as best as possible. Because you know you're going to make the money. And especially if you go ahead and bring box office names like that with that mentality, the merch is going to go through the roof. And you were already the number one value franchise of the league without even doing that.
It's true.
See, I think I have to come, and I came to this, and Prof helped me with this, because I was fighting the tide. You know what I mean? I was like, no, we got to develop. No, we got to get a draft pick. They don't do it. Under the James Dolan ownership, they've never done it. So why would they start now? So for that, just assemble the Avengers every year, right? Go over the luxury tax, right? And just see where it takes you. And if you can get a chip out of all of that, forget about it. The people will lose their minds.
Honestly, D, I don't mean to cut you off. I'm just saying I think that is probably the road that the Knicks would be heading down. I just think that at some point you got to retool and bring in young players so you're not as old as a veteran team trying to do it. Mm-hmm. But once you have some young capital around you and they can kind of grow with you while you're doing it, I think it's easier to stomach and it takes less. Plus you got these young, these rookie contracts that are less money. It's harder when you got more, older veteran players on the. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Knicks start heading towards that way.
Yeah, but this is to be honest, this is the perfect scenario to take that shot because these guys are all in the same age range. And that's huge because they can develop chemistry. And literally, when you build a team, you want guys to get to know each other, like chemistry wise. It's great to have all the talent in the world, but when the egos get in the way, those things, that's a problem. That's a big problem. So this is a bunch of guys, Brunson, New York, Mitchell, New York. These are important things to have guys that want to be here. Forever, the Knicks have been chasing guys. Now you got guys trying to bang the door down to get here to the city. That's a lot to be said for that. So I think that this got to get done. Yes, I'll be honest. I wanted it done already. It's a whatever it takes. And I think Building Block, I normally don't reference the chat, but I saw something real cool. Building Block said it. He's like, this is his moment. This is Rose's moment. This is Leon Rose's moment. Like, you decide the path on this deal. And if this deal gets away from you, like, I'll be honest, like, I don't know how much rope you're going to get from the city, even from Dolan, to be honest. Because at the end of the day, Dolan is the type of dude where it's like, look, I need you to win. I want you to win. And however you're going to get it done, just make it happen. That's how things go. And so Rose is all about that. Tibbs is all about that. But the way they want to do it is different between the two of them.
Yeah.
And I really believe the only way that they can really do this, knowing, like D said, they have no history of development. They have to take this shot. They just have to take this shot. And I think that this will end up a lot better than people really think because these are guys that are invested. And I think when you go back to the Knicks when they were successful, those are all guys that love their city. They were about this life. They were about that life when it comes to New York.
Yeah.
All right. They were about the toughness. They were about the heart. They were about making sure everybody know this is our house. These are the type of guys that are going to do that. I think Donnie's going to do that. I know Brunson got that in him. I think Barrett's getting it. He's learning it. He's grown into it. He took his punches in the mouth from the city, and now he's like, okay, I get it. This is just how it is here.
Yeah.
And I really think that it's important that you don't put yourself in a situation. I know D said he's big on development, but like these, you're not giving them the minutes. You can't do this to yourself. It looks nice to say you're going to develop, but then if you have a conflicting theories between your GM and your coach, you're not going to do what you say you're going to do. You're not going to get the optimal return on investment when you talk about these young players that you're committed to. I think, look, if you were going to do this, you shouldn't have got Brunson. Let IQ work out. Let Toppin work out. Let them develop their chemistry. If you were going to do that, then you should have done that and take the lumps this year, but get them the reps, the experience, the situational, just reps so that they can be better in the future, make their mistakes but they didn't do that. So now that you didn't do that, you can't say you kind of want to do that because the worst place to be in the NBA is in that space where you don't know what direction you're going.
Yeah.
And teams do it all the time. And then they try to get out of it. And you literally got an opportunity to get out of it while still looking good with that star. So it's just a no-brainer.
280 in the chat now. We're treading towards 300. Let's go. Make sure you let somebody know that knows somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody. And let's get up the likes over 100, please, guys.
Yeah, I agree. Thank you, D. Appreciate that. And I hear your comment, Prophet. I agree with that too, man. I understand where you're going. Like I said, I'm on both sides of the fence here. I've said it all year last year. I would have no problem if the Knicks just said, all these young guys is who I'm rocking with. This is who we're going to play with. And this is our team. And we're just going to, if anything, we might put more young guys here. I don't care. I'm fine with that. I'm okay with the Knicks just continuing to build them up. I tell you, I'm all right with it. But if the Knicks don't feel like they want to continue to do that, if they feel like the pulse of New York, because I feel like we're in the minority. I mean, a lot of people in the chat here are in agreement that they want to see the young kids grow with the Knicks and they want them to develop. but there's a majority of people out there that they want winners.
It's a divide.
Right. They want to see it. So that is what I think the Knicks organization looks at too. And not to mention the fact that they've got Tibbs here as a coach. They want to be in a situation where they're starting to put together a winning team that can get into the playoffs consistently. Because you can already see they're trying to make that move. And if we go back to the fact that, let's not forget, Leon Rose came here with his relationships. We all know this. I'm not saying anything that most people don't know. We know the godfather of Jalen Brunson, all this, Rick Brunson connection, the family, the kids, they all used to hang out together, go to camp, whatever. The Jalen Brunson thing was kind of always in the mix. It's all about whether or not it was going to play out or not, and it played out. Fine. Then you want to say the Donovan Mitchell thing that's happening right now before our eyes. It was always in the mix. Once you decided to hire Johnny Bryant, why do I always say Johnny Bryant? Sorry. I always keep confusing him and Johnny Davis.
I do that too.
Yo, it's crazy. Anyway, when you hired Johnny Bryant as a coach who's been an assistant with Utah, they haven't won anything over there really. They've been a winning seat. They've had winning seasons, but they've never really won anything consistently to say, you know what, this guy Johnny Bryant is the guy. I gotta bring him over here. He's a good coach, don't get me wrong, and he's pretty good with young talent, but we've seen his influence mainly on guys like Donovan Mitchell. So you bring in Johnny Bryant, you're bringing him in with a chance to possibly get Donovan Mitchell over here. And we're seeing how this is playing out. So this has always been a part of their plan. Maybe it's not necessarily it has to be these guys, but it's these guys can be included in our mix of thinking because we have a way to do this.
There's two ways.
Go ahead.
So before you do that, Prof,
sorry,
he has 2 super chats.
Yeah, I was just about to get to those. So let me read these real quick and get to your stuff. So first off, Andy N, appreciate you as always. He said, Ron, can I plug the episode I recorded on Friday? Sim is going to put it up on MBK today. I hope you got it. So guys, definitely, you know what? Tune in to Nothing But Knicks. Our guy Andy N, aka International Andy, is going to be it looks like he did a segment that's going to be airing on Nothing But Knicks, so definitely check that out. And Andy, if you'd like to come on and plug it in person, by all means, and you're also welcome to chop it up on anything we got going on. We always love having you here. First off, let me get to the first super chat. Thank you, Ice Mike 69. He said, and thank you for the generous super chat. He said, Sims, Grimes, Reddish, McBride, Fournier, Rose, and 6 first-rounders gets the deal done for Spida and Clarkson and a couple of second-rounders. Let's be honest, none of these players have a future with the Knicks' thoughts. Okay, first off, Sims, Grimes, Reddish, McBride, Fournier, Rose, and 6 first-rounders. I don't know if
there's more.
I don't know if that's the combination that would work, because remember the other thing is you got to look at the cap for not only the Knicks, the cap for Utah. Rose and Fournier makes the money work with Donovan, but it's also you got to think about what they're paying Reddish, what Sims signed to, whatever the rookie stuff is for Grimes and McBride, and the value of the 6 first-round picks. All that has to match up and work under the cap for both organizations to make it work. But if that does work, I could do that. I could do this trade.
Definitely.
But it wouldn't work. I don't even know why I just read that. I'm sorry. I got to kill the trade immediately because Sims can't go. Sims just signed, so he can't be involved in this trade.
And you can't put Rose there either.
Oh, no?
Yeah.
Well, then there's that. Sorry, but I see the offer and I see where you were going. Yeah, that's another thing for everybody to keep in mind. You because it's not just here, but you can't.
90 days or 30 days? How many days is it before they can make that trade?
45. No, it's like January 15th or something like that.
Oh yeah, okay.
Right. You can't just immediately after you sign a player, you can't throw him into a trade offer right now. They have to wait. There's like a what's the word? A moratorium period. I don't know what the word is, but there has to be a certain amount of days that go by. before you can even include a guy that you just signed in the trade. That's why Mitchell Robinson, who apparently Utah wanted in one of their initial offers to the Knicks, couldn't be traded once the Knicks decided to sign him to the 4-year, $60 million contract. So, but thank you, Ice Mike. I appreciate that, man. Thank you for the generous super chat once again.
I like Ice Mike's thinking.
Yeah, I see where he's going with it. And like I said, when I looked at it, I might do the deal, but then I wasn't thinking about the fact that, you know, I don't know if Sims would be the one I would throw in there with it, because he might be somebody the Knicks have to hold on to because they got him on the cheap. And if you're struggling to fill out the remainder of your roster after a big trade for a Donovan Mitchell, you want to try to hold on to certain pieces that have value. And you know, Sims is one of those, if you ask me.
Yeah.
And then go ahead.
For Ice Mike, that was my mistake. You could put Rose in it. I didn't see you put Clark's in there. Okay. So
Yeah. So the only one that couldn't be in there is Sims.
Okay. I just want to say something, and I think this is important to keep in mind. So now, look, really important for understand the Knicks.
Wait. Is it? If it's going to get too deep, hold on. Let me just read this other super chat real quick, and then I'll let you go.
Go for it.
Yeah.
Man. Go for it.
Jean Mark, appreciate you, brother. Thank you for the generous super chat. He said, "Good morning, guys. What package would you offer for Spida?"
Oh, that's a great question.
I'm gonna keep that starred. We can come back to it and then see if we can put something together. I will tell you that you know, outside of this, if you have a chance. On the Nothing But Knicks network this past Thursday, we did the NBA report, and John and I put together 4 different trade scenarios that were approved by FansPro, and they were successful that could work in a Donovan Mitchell trade, you know, from the Knicks. So, all right, go ahead, Prophet. My fault, brother.
My big thing here, and Johnny Bryant's name came up, and I thought it was really important to remember. So, like, if they're going to go, you got 2 directions. So one direction is the rebuild direction, your full commitment to that, okay? That would have been, this is what it would have looked like. Tibbs for 15 games, gone. Because Tibbs doesn't want to be here. Johnny Bryant gets the helm, okay? The chemistry between IQ and Obi that developed last year at the end of the season, you ride that. RJ is there as well. All those guys around the same age, same energy. You build with that. That would have been what that looks like. When you sign Brunson, that went gone. That was gone. Because Brunson is going to play for now, and he's also going to stunt IQ's development. Because IQ is not going to get 25, 30 minutes.
Brunson not going to get 30,
and that is what he needs. He needs 30 minutes to see what you really have in him. So that would have been what that looks like, but it's not going to happen, which means that there is absolutely no reason to hold on to those young players as tight as you are, except for purely the fact that you want to say you didn't give up so much in a trade. But you have to always say to yourself, how does this trade bring me closer? Now, D said a great point. It doesn't take you to a 4 or 3 seed or a 2 seed or a 1 seed. It doesn't take you there. But what it does take you to is, 1, the playoffs. And for the Knicks, that has not happened with any level of frequency. When you have a set of guys like that, 25, moving together as a unit on their trajectory in their primes, you have a group that can grow through the experiences in the playoffs. You don't know if they will be stuck in the first round. You don't know, because they can get better, because their chemistry will evolve. So as their chemistry evolves, there's a chance that they learn how to operate in their space of strength, and they evolve to a team that can surprise teams. Donovan is the type of persona that can help encourage that type of energy, that can overwhelm a Randall's negativity, that can mesh really well with the Brunson's team first mentality. Stuff is huge. And like I said, Ron, 100%, yes, they could possibly pull a deal off with less pieces going. But do you want to take that chance right now? Because right now, as currently, you got 3 young guys that are stuck having to share minutes with guys, and you want to see their upside, and you won't see it. There's no chance you'll see it, because until Randall's gone, you'll never see Obi's top level Obi. Until Brunson would be gone, right? You'll never see top level IQ. And Grimes may have a shot, but his coach not going to sit Fournier for that. He's not going to do it. I'd love him to do it. And think about it. It's Rose is there too. Rose is there too. Forget it at the point guard spot. That's a nightmare. And then you're gonna run Rose in there in some 2-guard situations because Rose can score the ball.
Right. So
you might throw him in there in some situations where ideally you don't want to put him in the 2-guard spot, but he scores the ball. So they may put him in rotations there.
And Donovan averages 36 minutes a game.
Yeah, Donovan. So you might as well get rid of those assets. And you say to yourself, Brunson 25. I think I sent this to you in the text yesterday, Ron. Brunson 25. Spida 25, Barrett 22, right? Randall 27, Hartenstein I think is 23 or 24, not 100% sure. Right there.
What, his contract for 2 years? Oh, the age.
No, I'm just saying.
Age. I think he's 24. Maybe.
Yeah, he's 24.
24.
Yeah.
So looking at that, they were all in that window, man. And I'm telling you, like, I feel like if they can make that happen, this can be a lot better than anyone can really understand, because you just don't know how well they can mesh, because they all want to be there, except for Randall, which he may turn into wanting to be there now that he's got guys there that take the load off in terms of pressure. Like he's a different beast when it comes to New York. He's really volatile, and like New York, when you're volatile like that, we coming right back at you. So like you can't do that in New York like that and be a star like that. You know what I'm saying? Like we not going against you. You're just supposed to make it work. You just deal with that. And you know you're supposed to deal with that as a star. That just is what it is. It's understood. Lindor learned it in baseball, right? Lindor learned it. Yankees, their guys, Judge, they learn it. You eat it, and you just go out and you perform. And then they love you. That's it. We don't want to hear your mouth. We don't want to see the negativity, none of that stuff. We just want to see you perform. And once you do that, we'll get off you. We'll leave you alone. You know what I'm saying? So that's all I'm saying. So I just feel like they got to do this, man. They got to do this.
I hear you. All I'm going to say to you is, and hold on, I'm gonna get my guy in here. I see him backstage. I'm going to get him in 1 second. All I'm going to say to you is that I think that being a Knicks fan or even a New Yorker, you've seen the Knicks have never been they've never put themselves in the position to do the right thing, or at least the smart thing. But when you're in a situation where you're putting your faith in new people, you got to give people a chance to show what they can do. Leon Rose is a fresh start for this New York Knicks organization. He came in and he tried to hit the ground running right away. He made some moves, maybe some in some cases he did certain things. The signing of Kemba, the signing of Fournier,
mistakes.
They were mistakes.
That's an overstatement.
Right, but they were also necessary in the fact that you had to spend a certain amount of your cap according to NBA rules and bylaws and all that. We went into all this a while ago. Josh, Uncle Fulio had brought it up and said how organizations have a certain amount of salary they have to spend, and the Knicks were at that point. Did they panic? Who knows? Maybe they did, they went with these guys. And then the PR side of it said, hey, Kemba, man, he's on his last legs, but he might be able to play a little bit. And think of the PR, man. Homegrown talent coming back home, you know.
If anybody has seen him play in Boston the year before that, that never would have been the narrative.
Right. I hear you. And I'm thinking, you know, it didn't work out. We know it was just no, didn't work. But before I get my guy Jay Boogie in here, I just wanted to say that I think we got to let Rose cook the way he wants to cook. If Rose is trying to put his, and people saying this is Rose's moment, if this is Rose's moment, let him have it. Let him do what he's got to do and get it done the way he feels he's got to get it done. Now, if he doesn't get it done, then we can kill him, and we will, because this is New York. We ain't gonna let you rock when you got Donovan Mitchell sitting in front of you and you don't pull the trigger. But if you let it play out and he's able to do it the way he wants to do it, and we still, all we want is Donovan. If we still get Donovan, then it is what it is, guys. We got to relax. That's all.
Let me say this real quick before you bring in Jay. Ice brought up a good thing. You notice in his trade package, he didn't have Obi Toppin in that trade package.
Right.
Because Obi is a better complement to Donovan Mitchell than it would be Grimes, IQ, and stuff of that nature.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Understood.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Okay. Let me bring Jay Boogie in, but let me hold on 1 second, Jay Boogie, my guy. Let me just say what's up to a couple of other people that I had starred in the chat. Appreciate y'all. Geraldine McIver, the first lady of Still Knick fans. I'm sorry, I thought I got you earlier, but I made sure I starred your name so I could bring you up. Appreciate you as always, Geraldine. Tone Garden of Knicks podcast in the building. What's good? Big Diff is in the building. Now that's just a funny name. I'm gonna move on though. Appreciate you. Hitting Murphy is here. What's good? My guy Chop Low, Supreme System Lord in the building. Anton Cates is here. Thank you. King Ribby is in the building. 19 Conman NYC. El Servi is in the building. This guy, Canal Van Lauya is here. What's good, Canal? What's going on, brother? Chase is in the building. Chase O. And he said, let me just put that up. He said, Ron, are you from Astoria, Queens? I am not, sir. But thank you. I am from Brooklyn. The WB, if you know, you know. Salute to my guy, Visions. Visions is in the building. What's good? Jamal Knight, Our Future Media, D Nice. Let's see. Shammy White, Will the Champ. D Coolest 718. I think I mentioned you, but if I didn't, I'll mention you again. iGamer is in the building. Victor Vivera is here. What's good? Oh, thank you, sir. What's up? Reporting from Colombia. Appreciate you. Yeah. Appreciate you. Thank you for tuning in, man. And definitely hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. I hope that you enjoy the content and you want to keep coming back. We aim to please. John Talento is in the building. My guy Hard Will. I think I didn't. Hard Will, appreciate you, brother. Good to see you, man. Bricks Nation is in the building. And also, guys, if y'all haven't already, Hard Will is on a great show called For the Love of the Game with my man Worldwide L. If you haven't already checked it out, check out For the Love of the Game. It's 4, like the number 4, OUR, and then the love of the game, the way you would normally spell it. Okay, check them out. They got a great show, good content. They're always rocking. It gets heated, but it's fire. There's passion in there. So definitely salute to them. Bricks Nation is in the building. Jake R is in the building. OCD Shaggy, Yankee fan forever. Nelson Lopez and May 4th is in the building. Appreciate y'all. Thank you. Salute, salute, salute.
May 4th, my birthday.
And shout out to DJ. He just chatted that he loves the podcast, that he feels it's a greght podcast. And we greatly appreciate that, DJ.
Oh, thank you, DJ. Appreciate you. Salute to Soldiers of God and salute to my guy. I'm gonna tell you, he's probably the best New York City barber you know that's a Knicks fan. My guy Dripmore is in the building. Now, granted, my number one barber is a dude named Eco I grew up with. I got to show love to him all the time. But Dripmore, you a big number 2 for me, brother, and probably the number 1 Knick barber because Eco's a Laker fan. But whatever, it is what it is. All right, y'all. Jay Boogie, you with us? He might have stepped away.
Wow.
Salute.
Okay, go ahead, sir.
Salute to Ed Winning, 2626. Guys, I know I can't get to everybody. The chat is rocking. There's 324 people watching.
Let's go.
I can't get to all the names, but I appreciate y'all for tuning in and definitely hit that like button. And if you want to subscribe, we appreciate you as well. Hopefully there's something we're giving you that you like seeing and want to see more of. Jorge Calderon is in the building. Thank you. Thank you so much for being here. Definitely. Was there something else you were going to say, Feats? Because I don't know if I didn't cut you off, did I?
No, I mean, right now, I just hope they get it done. Like
Okay.
You know, that's really it, and you know, by any means necessary right now.
Got you.
Ron, let me build on that. So this is where me and Prof diverge, right? And I'll be quick because Jay Boogie just came back. Is that he feels that something substantial can come out of this, where I feel that it's just a better version of crap. Because the whole thing is that it still have roster construction issues. You still have salary cap issues. So, and it's not, you want to go over the luxury tax, that's fine. But even going over the luxury tax still limits you into how you build your roster around the guys that are making the most money.
Yeah,
so
the bottom half is going to be real light. I get it.
Right,
I get it.
Right.
It's going to be filler. It's going to be filler. But to be honest, you can find a lot of older guys that are willing to stand in that role on that back end that'll take those minimum contracts. They'll stand in that role. They provide the filler. So I'm going to be quiet, Jay Boogie, right?
Yeah, Jay Boogie. What's happening, brother?
What's up, Jay?
Hey, good afternoon. Now I was raising my hand saying, yeah, I'm one of them old guys, man.
Hey, what's up?
I'm talking about you stop it. I'm talking, let me get one of them contracts.
Yeah, you still got another 2 years in you?
Huh?
I said you still think you got another 2 years in you?
Nah, I got 3 games. But the 3 games I got, they gotta be 2 things: playoff and critical situation. That's where I need to be at. You know,
you got a jumper, right?
And half court too.
You got a jumper, right?
Yo, happy Saturday, everybody, man. God blesses to everybody, man. I hope everybody's healthy and safe, man. Shout out to the chat, man. Shout out to everybody rocking that orange and blue, man. You know what I'm saying? I hope it's beautiful, sunny where you at. If it ain't, then look in the mirror and look how beautiful you are as a person, you know what I'm saying? And shout out to what our squad is doing out there in that summer league, man, and everything, man. It's a beautiful time in the city of New York, man. You know what I'm saying? It's a beautiful time of wherever you're at as a fan of the New York Knicks, you know what I'm saying? It's just a beautiful time right now. You know, I love the name that Donovan, come home. We're in that 4-5. It ain't to play games with you. It's to aim at you. I need him over here in the building. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? We ain't had 4-5 since Mike. Come on home, man, and get where you at. But I gotta give some props, you know what I'm saying, to Leon Rose, you know what I'm saying, for taking, you know, for trying certain things and things not working. And then, you know, he reworking to try to make things right. You know what I'm saying? I think Leon is really listening. And on the fly, he's learning, you know what I'm saying, at the same time. And, you know, this year is a real beautiful off season for us, you know what I'm saying. And it could be closed out real major if we can get this guy to come on to the city and still have, you know, Brunson and RJ like that. That's the major 3 that I'm more concerned more than anything. Anything else out of that, you know what I'm saying, we can deal with it and make other things, you know what I'm saying, proper. As long as I got that 3-piece right there, the suit will look real beautiful, you know what I'm saying, when I go out rocking it, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I love what's going on right now. It's a good time to be a Knick, you know what I'm saying? We just need to get that thing done. Shout out to the Summer League team out there. That's a beautiful sight. We can get there and we can win that championship. I can sit back and say what a wonderful summer all season it has been, you know what I'm saying, for the team, you know what I'm saying, have no first round draft picks, trade up out of there, get a bunch of picks going on, didn't pick nobody, everybody got all these players, and we go out there and demolish everybody. What it would tell me is that, yo, for real, we do got a nice young crop, you know what I'm saying, against everybody else's crops, you know, that's going on. We could come back, whether we win it or not, but getting to that chip, that's a big, you know what I'm saying, thing for us, man. I like that, man, but I like what we got going on, you know what I'm saying. I'm feeling real good about the squad. I'm feeling real good about the future. You know, everybody, you know, it's not a championship step that we're making. People don't need to try to confuse that with championship. It's a directional step that we're taking. When we look back and we don't been through, you know what I'm saying, developing players, you know, but before that, we don't went back arguing, being mad and upset at the team to try to figure out how to develop the players to get picks, you know what I'm saying, and then to get to this step, you know what I'm saying, to finally get us a point guard. Now we're trying to add as a star to our squad. Those are all process and steps that's going up, you know what I mean? And you know what I'm saying, and it's just been a long time since we made the proper, steps to, to put this meal on the table so everybody can eat. And I just love what they're doing. Leon ain't sleeping on us. He listening. Leon is trying to make things happen. You know what I'm saying? And then he's up under pressure too. He's coming up on contract situations, so he got to make this work for himself. You know what I'm saying? And if he make it work for himself, then guess what? James Dolan stays completely out the way. It works for the organization. It works for the squad. It works for the fans. It works for the podcasts. It works for the Twitter spaces. Everybody, you know what I'm saying, is talking in a positive mode, you know what I'm saying, and feeling good about the squad. Because we already know how to deal with negativity. We don't deal with so much negativity, but we also know how to get through the negativity. And that's more important that people need to know that right now we're on the positive side. So let's continue on thinking positive about the team and feeling good and keep, you know what I'm saying, motivate and see what's going to happen, man.
Yeah.
Yep. Let me do this real quick. First off, Dripmore, if you have a link for your shop and for your YouTube channel, you can definitely put it in the chat now. You are a mod, so you couldn't do that before, but you can do it now. So by all means, brother, appreciate you as always. Salute to you. Let me read this super chat real quick and get to another special guy backstage. First off, Paris Duggar, thank you for the generous super chat. It's Grimes, D Rose, Fournier, and 5 first, nothing more. Look, don't get me wrong. I'm okay with this. Is the ideal trade that I want. To me, this is the Leon Rose trade. Do I think that we might have to come up from this a little bit? We might. We might have to throw another play in there, another young guy, a happy medium for both. Maybe, yeah, I know, maybe 2, but hopefully not. I hope not. We'll see. Because the other thing is, what gives this situation some time is that maybe, and then someone said it yesterday, I don't know where I heard it, that maybe Danny Ainge is also, he's got other players on the team that he's trying to unload and move off from. Maybe if he gets successful type offers in those things that he knows he can play around with, maybe the Knick offer, even though it needs to be viable, he'll come off of it a little bit and say, okay, well, all right, I'll take this from you guys because I know I'm getting this for Mike Conley or whoever else he's trying to unload. So we'll see. I appreciate
about the picks.
Go ahead, D.
Just real quick about the picks is that if we give up 6 picks, for example, right, for Donovan Mitchell, right, we're still left with 16, 15, 17 picks to 2030. And half of them are first. That's
a good point. Good point. Now we've got 2 special guests in the back. Okay. All right. So let me do this. Let me say shout out to Will Salkin. I think I missed you earlier. Knicks will be 2026 NBA champs. That's almost like the Boston Celtics guy who had the tattoo on his arm. I appreciate you. I hope you're right, man. I hope you're right. Tony Vaz is in the building. Nick Yak is here. Timotheus is in the building. That's like Prometheus. Is in the building. Appreciate you. Thank you. Infamous New King is here. Thank you. Always good to see you guys. Now let me get these guys in here. First off, let me say this. All right. Shout out to my guys, Knick Fans Brazil, man. My guy, Victor Hatchback. He's a good guy, man. You guys definitely check him out. Give him some love, man. He has got a good channel. His mission right now is to bring, as much Knick fans that he can bring to Brazil, out of Brazil, to be a part of the whole mix, bring more people to Brazil that love the Knicks, that understand what's going on. He's trying to grow the Knicks brand and definitely make them a big mainstay in Brazil, because basketball it's a little different over there. And so, he's trying to grow. And, Victor has done a great job with Knicks Fans Brazil, also with the help of my guy, Bruno, man. Bruno has been great too. So now Victor is from Brazil. So the language is a little different. He knows some English, but Bruno helps a lot with translating. So it's great to see both of them here. Let me get these guys in here. Victor with a V. What's happening?
Salute,
guys. What's good?
Brazil here. Me and Bruno.
What's happening? What's happening?
Hey, Ron. Talk, Knick fans. That's right.
It's true. It's true.
Good afternoon, guys. Good afternoon.
What's up?
Yeah, it's
Vic?
good to have you. Good to have you, man. And Bruno, always a pleasure. I know Victor must have called you. You're probably having fun, having a nice day out. And Victor's like, come on, Bruno, I need you.
my superhero.
Oh, okay. Cool, bro.
Oh, I
on
can't hear
mute,
you, Bruno.
You're on mute.
No, I think he's off mute, but I think
Mute.
It could be his phone settings.
I help you, Bruno. You are mute.
no, you know what? I think Bruno, I'm gonna put the link again. Go out and come back in. Okay?
Ron, first of all, thank you so much, for receiving, in our channel, Knicks Fans Brazil. In Brazil, man, people so crazy, fan base, from the Knicks in Brazil, so crazy about Spida, Donovan Mitchell in the last days. People really want, Donovan Mitchell in Knicks, but depends, Utah wants so much, from the Knicks. It's complicated, man. It's complicated. I saw proposed trade with 6 picks, man. More Grimes, McBride, Obi Toppin, and Emmanuel Quickley, man. Oh man, I don't agree. I agree with the GM from the Knicks because so much, man, so much the cost about Donovan Mitchell. I believe Donovan Mitchell will go to the Knicks, man. But Utah and Knicks needs a better negotiation in this trade, man. I believe, man, will go out or Obi Toppin or Emmanuel Quickley or these two guys will go out. In my opinion, I prefer Emmanuel Quickley stay in the Knicks, and then Obi Toppin, because Julius Randle stay in Knicks, Obi Toppin don't have so much minutes in this team. Emmanuel Quickley, because we have Jalen Brunson now. I believe Emmanuel Quickley in rotation with Jalen Brunson. It's so good, man. But if I want make a decision between Obi Toppin and Emmanuel Quickley, I prefer Emmanuel Quickley. In my chat yesterday, this chat prefer Obi Toppin. Different me. I want to know with you guys, do you prefer Obi Toppin or Emmanuel Quickley?
If you get Donovan, Obi Toppin, because they complement the roster better.
Yes. Knicks make a decision, right? Imagination,
right?
This situation, right?
Gotta be Obi. Gotta be Obi too.
Obi.
Yeah. I would say Obi. I would say Obi.
Obi works well with what Jalen Brunson can do in terms and what Donnie can do, which is getting downhill and getting on the run. So in the PNR, it's going to really work well because you can attack the rim. And let's say if you get a flex on the other side of it, so that rim run is going to also create a guy in the corner that can flow to a wing. So you got a lot of action. You got one action going towards the rim. You got one action going away from the rim. And that's just a lot of activity that's positive activity for the team. So I think it really works well to keep Obi. Now, IQ, you're dependent on him putting the ball on the floor because he's ball dominant. So that's going to be a different bit of an issue. So, I think it's more complicated, but I know I know D was probably going to say the same thing. I just said.
I like too
all the time. So
I like Obi. I like Emmanuel Quickley. Okay, But I prefer, né? I prefer Emmanuel Quickley, but I like so much Obi Toppin, né? Utah wants a good negotiation, né? Like Knicks, né? Like Knicks, Utah wants a good negotiation, né? A good negotiation for Utah, Grimes, Obi, né? Picks, né? I don't want Grimes out, Obi out, but if you want all-star, if you want a all-star player, you won't leaves a player.
You have to give up something to get something. You want. You're gonna have to. We're gonna take something back. So, yes, I agree. Jay Boogie, to Victor's question, if you bring in Donovan here, who would you rather keep between OB and IQ?
Y'all already don't answer. Y'all already don't answer.
You got a track on it.
Yeah,
All right.
It's simple, man. I mean, you have two guys from the top from the top that can penetrate and break down and enter. You know what I'm saying? Break the defenses down. Obi will just take complete advantage of that. He baseline running, or he rim rack running. You know what I'm saying? Or he just crashing the boards off of them, man. Man, yes, definitely Obi, man. And I think Obi really got a high ceiling going on, man. Obi's banging on that door. He wants to really showcase himself, man. He feel like what he did them last 5 games, that's not just all me. I got some things I want to do, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, it's definitely Obi, man. In this situation with two dudes that can, get inside the paint and break your defense down, man, Obi's going to go nonsense over that deal, man.
Yeah.
Hey, something else I wanted to say before I forget. I started yesterday, and I'm going around any podcasts that are going. I'm asking if you got merch inside there. Get Paris Douglas information and send him something. Me, I pay for it myself. I'm letting everybody know that because I just went off the haywire and just voted that dude as the chat, person of the year. He goes around and he supports everybody's show, you know what I'm saying, doing what he does. No matter what show it is, he go there and he support and he and he gives his all, So I'm going around just telling people you got something inside, you know what I'm saying, your merch and everything, get his information and whatever it is, I pay for it and send it to him, you know what I'm saying? Because we got to start appreciating a lot of the guys that really, help us, do what we do. And I know we all get up here on the panel to entertain them, but it's them out there in the chats too that helps us continue to do what we do. You know what I'm saying? It makes us that much more successful. So with that, and I also wanted to shout out D's. You know what I'm saying? For everything he's been doing for the summer league. Let me again give him his flowers because he was covering games and everything before the Knicks was playing. You know what I'm saying? He was holding it down, breaking it down, letting you know about other cats, letting you know if we could have got this guy or. I'm glad we didn't get this guy. He was breaking everything down, holding us down before we started playing. So I wanted to shout that out to D's too. You got one more day. You got one more day. You got the big day tomorrow, though. I need the big day. I need the big day, man.
Gotta get my sweep.
Yeah, but besides that, man, that was about it for me, man.
Okay.
Appreciate that, Jay.
Yeah, exactly.
Another question, Victor. That was a great question about who would you prefer, because I didn't see that coming at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know what? It actually is interesting because the other thing about it is I'm thinking, when was the last time Donovan had somebody on Utah that could really run with him and get explosive up and down the court?
Nada.
Right. So, yeah, Obi would be a very interesting pairing with a Donovan Mitchell. And remember, guys, here's the other thing. Let's you know what? Let's call it what it is. The Knicks were clamoring and the fans were clamoring. We wanted to get Jaden Ivey here. Okay, we couldn't get Jaden Ivey.
Right.
Donovan Mitchell is Jaden Ivey, but better. You know what I mean? So I'm just saying, like, this is like this could be all falling into place, working out great for us.
Yeah.
And I think Bruno is back. Oh wait, no, lost him again. Well, I'm sure he'll be back. So I think he's trying to reset up and get his connection right. He was outside. I think now he's inside somewhere. So we'll see. We'll give him a little time to get back going. Thank you guys once again for your love and support. We got 293 people tuned in right now. Smash that like button. I have no clue how many likes we got, but I thank you guys as always. For being here and supporting. We appreciate it. Them likes give us the help we need. So so YouTube can see that we rocking and that people are tuning in. So get them likes up, man, if y'all can. I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Real quick, two things. Boogie said something very important that's universal. Since we got Brazil in the building, all that, we got that universal effect of the building already. We have to keep the economy within ourselves and within our communities in order for our communities to grow. And that's a very important fact that you brought up. And I just wanted to highlight that. Another thing, too, is that Vic made me think about something. And he made me think that what concerns me a bit is that what was the trade for Grimes again? What was that exact trade proposal? It was
the big one?
Yeah, the ones that they denied, the ones that they decided not to go with. There was 6 first-round picks. It was Grimes and what else?
It was Grimes, it was Obi, it was IQ, it was Cam Reddish, and it was McBride.
It won't make.
I can see why he said no to that.
Wow.
Yeah, that was the second big one. The first big one was a no out the gate. The first big one was RJ Barrett, Mitchell Robinson, 5 first-round picks, and I think Julius Randle's name was mentioned as well. If I'm wrong, guys, you could correct me, but I think that's what it was, and that is crazy.
Was Reddish in the other one? Are you sure Reddish?
Reddish was in the big one, the 5 names. Reddish was in there. Yeah. Okay. That's wild, man. It's a little bit much.
Yeah, I thought
Bruno, you here?
I thought that big one started off with Mitch.
Yeah.
Hey, Bruno's here. Let's go. What are we?
I'm so sorry.
Hi, Bruno.
I did twice, but man, I have some problems here with connection and everything. But I'm glad to be here, talk with you guys, and talk about the Knicks and the situation, man. I think it's too complicated because, for example, in my opinion, I like so much Donovan Mitchell. He's a great player. And he can offer a lot of things to New York. But, man, I think he needs to go to New York with the right price. And I don't see this in this crazy trades, you understand? Because I think the situation is because what they get back in a Gobert trade. So they want to improve this, understand, and go to another level. So this is the problem because the Knicks have a lot of things to offer, but it's impossible to stop the future and think in the present just for this, understand? Because 6 first round picks and quickly Grimes, Reddish, Toppin. So we don't have a bench with the young core. So you understand? And if this guy they don't play, they don't match. Understand? If they don't play like together, because I have some concerns about defense because Thibodeau likes to play on defense, and Jalen Brunson, Donovan Mitchell, they don't. The people know they can score, of course, but the defense is not their priority. Understand? So this is the problem. I think have a lot of things to discuss. If they want a lot of things, I don't see this is a good way. You understand? I don't see this happen to the good way for New York. So this is what I'm thinking.
What is the good way?
Yeah.
Sorry, Pop.
Yeah.
No, I think that's what he was gonna say too.
Yeah. Man, I think if the Knicks involve another guys, for example, because if Donovan Mitchell come to New York, I don't see, for example, a spot for Evan Fournier, for example. Maybe they involve in the another franchise in the trade or something like that. Try to send some young values, another franchise to there for the Jazz, and maybe try to do something different. But I really like I really want to see Donovan Mitchell in New York. But the problem is if we need to send all the young core and the 6 first round picks, I think it's too much, man. The Knicks need to find another way. But I really want to see Donovan Mitchell with the Knicks jersey, of course.
So I'll say this, really important to understand. Now, anytime you have this situation, the issue that I'm thinking about that's really important to take into consideration is, are they the only team in this situation? Because your leverage is completely tied to any negotiation, how many options exist. So are they the only option or the best option? Because we were talking in my chat, me and Ron, we were talking about the Hornets. Hornets would take him in a heartbeat. They figure out how to get rid of Rozier, and they say, hey, we take Donnie, because they haven't got a transformational guy like that in the longest time. So there are guys and teams that are willing to make a way and probably make and do the offer that they're not willing to do in order to make it happen. So I think the reason why my urgency is so apparent is because I'm always thinking about, are there other options in the situation? And I think there are. We may not know them, but there probably are some other teams that are interested. So we have to make sure you get your guy, because you need that guy and that guy wants to be there. So make it happen is what I'm saying.
Right. And
sooner rather than later, because every day that you don't make it happen is an opportunity for another team to swoop in and do what they're not willing to do.
Right. I would say that, yeah, I do think that there's other teams that are interested. I think there's plenty of teams that are interested, but some teams, one, are not in any position to make the move. Right. Two, there's other teams that have a different outlook as to the trajectory of what they're trying to do, and so it doesn't work for them right now. And then you have the teams that want him and need him, but may not have the draft capital. So they have to figure out ways to be creative, like the Miamis of the world, Brooklyn Nets, maybe. You want to say the Lakers. You know, some cases you may be cap strapped. You may not have the cachet of picks. Lakers definitely don't have the picks. I don't know if Brooklyn has the picks either. Brooklyn gave a lot of picks up in recent years to acquire what they got now. So, you know, and in Miami, they're not horrible with regards to picks, but they don't have a lot of picks either. So, you know, in those cases, those teams might have to get another team involved, which takes more. You know, because not only do you have to send a couple players to make the money work to Utah, you got to send something to the third team to allow them to put in the picks to send to Utah to make it favorable. There's a lot more involved in that. So it's tricky. And that's why the Knicks looks like the best. And doesn't always happen. I don't know when's the last time the Knicks were in a position that they look like the best trade partner. But they do look like the best trade partner because they have a lot of assets that and shout out to Steve Mills, that Steve Mills started to acquire in the Porzingis stuff, and that Leon Rose has acquired since he's been here. They've accumulated a lot of picks, and they've got young talent. Not everybody values the young talent, but one thing I will say is everybody that people don't value, when you've given these guys 20 plus minutes, 30 plus minutes, that's a lot, but like 20 plus minutes and time to play, they've showed you something. Quentin Grimes, Summer League. I know it's the Summer League, but when you give him a chance to play and be a part of the offense, you start to see this guy can shoot. He can score inside. He can do other things. You already know he plays defense. So he's valuable. Not a superstar, not a star, but he's valuable. Obi Toppin, you give him 30 minutes, Obi's going to be productive. IQ, you allow him to have the keys and be the orchestrator of the offense. I don't care if it was against bad competition. A triple-double is a triple-double. You know, so you have these moments where you got to see when these guys start to play, you can see something. And we also know Cam Reddish, if Cam Reddish is ever healthy and can play 20-something, 30 minutes, Cam Reddish is going to get busy too. We just never get to see it, which is to you guys' points that you made earlier as well. I get it.
Yeah.
Good point.
Let me do this. Let me add this to the mix. First off, salute to Franklin Santana, Justin L, Hulk TV, and Worldwide L in the building. Worldwide L, guys, is the second part of that For the Love of the Game show that I said you guys should check out with Hard Will. It's Hard Will and Worldwide L, so definitely check out both of them on their show. So
and
let me
know
add
about the dog show, L. Put it in the chat.
Oh yeah, and he's got a high class championship contending dog that wins all types of championship.
I'm
L's dog
taking
is so
notes, yo. I'm
good.
taking notes. So
Hey, yeah, let me tell you, he's a guy to take notes from. Let me tell you how good L's championship pedigree is over there with his dog. His dog is so good that he went to go see a dog competition just to go chill and see how it. And he entered his dog at the last minute. His dog came out with the silver. Come on, man.
Mm-hmm.
Dogs,
Come on
my
now.
dogs.
snatching chips
Oh, my
like that on the
dogs.
way.
My
Oh,
dogs is
not
a
even
big
looking
What
for
up,
it, yeah.
what up to
my
Victor's
dogs.
dogs?
Yeah, no
My
training,
dogs.
no training,
dogs.
no nothing at all, man.
That's crazy.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's
Anyway,
the tier
let me-
one. Tier one dogs over there, B.
Yeah. Let me throw this up real quick. Shout out to Agent Super Argo. I see you. Appreciate you, brother. All right.
Run.
No, you can talk, Victor. Go ahead.
I want to make a point. I saw yesterday a post from Alan Hahn. Alan Hahn said, it's a good point. Knicks wants Donovan Mitchell, okay? Donovan Mitchell wants go to New York, back from your city. Utah want picks. Knicks has so many picks. I saw this post from Alan Hahn, and I see Knicks has a great chance to bring Donovan Mitchell to the Knicks, man. It's so many reasons. I saw the Knicks has a great chance. Heat don't want make a trade with Brooklyn Nets, for example, involving Adebayo. Okay, Miami Heat want Donovan Mitchell. Don't want trade, for example, with Tyler Hero. Do you understand? I see Knicks. It's a favorite,
Right.
in this negotiation. So many reasons, man. So many reasons. Donovan Mitchell show in your social media so many days in New York. In the Mets games, lives em Instagram, como é que é? Mobamba joking with Donovan Mitchell, in a live in Instagram. Go to the Knicks.
When Mobamba was talking to him to come to the Knicks. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Yes. So many reasons for me, when I saw this post, from Alan Hahn, Knicks, in my opinion, it's favorite, in this negotiation with Donovan Mitchell, man. So Knicks, Utah won't know about that. Aliás, Utah, sorry. Utah know about this, but Utah wants so much from the Knicks. I believe the Knicks can be a good negotiation, but I talk again. Knicks needs take we make a leaves players. For example, Obi Toppin, Emmanuel Quickley, Grimes. I like so much these guys, man. But if you want all-star, but I believe the Knicks close to the Donovan Mitchell Monday, Tuesday. I believe in that.
Yeah, I think it's a really good shot for the Knicks to land Donovan Mitchell. I think we're in a point where the Knicks have a good chance to make this happen. We just, as fans, we have to be patient. Let's see what Leon Rose can do. And I think Danny Ainge is a smart businessman. So even if, I'm not saying this 100%, but I know Danny Ainge always tries to get the best deal. That's his mantra. Right? We know it's what he does. I think if somebody else comes back with a really good offer that the Knicks haven't come with, Danny Ainge will probably call Leon Rose and let him know, listen, this is the offer. What you got? You ain't got it. I'm going with this. And whether or not it's true or not, that's for Leon Rose to figure out. He's got to send his people out there and see if this is something that's real. But then the Knicks still would probably have a shot to try to match any offer. I'm thinking, because the point of this is Danny Ainge is one of those that is used to getting big hauls. So if you're a guy who's used to getting big hauls and that's your reputation, you're going to try whatever you can to make sure at the last minute you're getting the best you can get, because that's what you want to do and that's what you're known for. So I think he'll give the Knicks that type of respect, and he would let them know if he got a better offer that makes more sense and he's ready to move.
Yes.
So we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. But I think everybody, we've got to be patient. And shout out to Jay Tapp, appreciate you, and Chris S in the building. Thank you guys for tuning in. So as you can see, guys, I put Donovan Mitchell's stuff up there. Once again, let me blow it up one more time just to go over it real quick, and I'll get it up out of here. So, guys, as you can see, listen, he's 6'1", 215 pounds. That's what he is. This is the real. It's not. He ain't 6'3", 6'4", whatever. He's 6'1". Maybe he's got a long wingspan that makes up for that small height, but that's who he is. He just is one of those gifted people, blessed with crazy athletic ability. I'm going to be honest. I said this, a couple months ago, and I showed video of it. Donovan Mitchell is still very athletic. He's not the same athlete. He's not year one, year two.
No,
Donovan Mitchell. That guy was jumping out of the gym. This guy can still jump. He's just not that guy. Okay. So, he's still very athletic, just not as athletic. So he has to make up for it with other skills on the court, other offensive abilities, breaking down his player, getting to the rack, shooting great from the free throw line, improving his 3-point percentage, or at least being steady at it. And I guess you can see, look at his 3-point percentage for his career. 5 years in the league, he's averaging 36% from three. That's really good. That's really good. It's not phenomenal, but that's really good for a guy like, Donovan Mitchell, who we know gets to the rim easy. He averaged 83.3% from the free throw line. Another thing, that's probably one of the best on the Knicks. We know the Knicks are poor free throw shooters, so that's definitely IQ is the best, but IQ is one guy. He's averaging 44% from the field for 5 years. That's a good number for a guy who not only gets to the rack and he's a jump shooter. That's a good number. Okay. And then obviously we look at the assist total. Is he a facilitator? No, maybe some people don't feel he's a true facilitator, but he averaged 5 assists, over 5 assists last year. He averaged over 5 assists the year before that. Averaging over 4 rebounds for his career, 4.5 for his career at the assist mark, averaging a steal a game for his career. Okay. He's not that big on the rebounding end. It is what it is, but that's okay. From a 6'1" guard, you expect that it's not that great. And then look at his scoring, guys. He averaged 23.9 for his career. He had almost 26 points last year and 26 the previous year. So the guy is going to get you buckets. He's a closer. He's someone you got to look at and say, we need that here. As for what we saw with the Knicks, I'm not going to have to, continue to ingrain it in your minds, guys. You've seen it. Last year, we lost 6 games. It could have been more. I don't know. 6 games by 20 points when we led by 20 points going into the third and fourth quarters of games. And we lost those games because we didn't have a closer. When the other team came back and was hitting us with their best shot, we folded. We didn't have that guy. So this is where a guy like Donovan Mitchell makes a difference. Just wanted to put that out there and throw that up. You guys can comment on Donovan however you like. Hold on one second. Let me just read this.
Read that.
Parrish Douglas says, thank you for the generous super chat. Leon got Brunson already. It's Utah's under pressure. I'm with you.
That's the way I'm walking into that boardroom.
I agree with you. I said it earlier. I've been saying it all week. I feel like Utah, Danny Ainge, was basically putting the Knicks in position to bid against themselves. We don't need to do that. All we need to do is look at what is the proper compensation for Donovan Mitchell, put together a solid package. And if they felt it was underwhelming, okay, what's your package? Oh, nope, that's not going to work. So how can we find that happy medium in between our two packages? Maybe it's just taking out one player from the package and putting one other guy we didn't want to put in and putting him in. Not RJ, guys. I'm not talking like that. But I'm just saying maybe it's just a mix. Maybe the Knicks' best offer didn't include Cam. Maybe you take out somebody we had in there and throw Cam in, and that makes it work. We don't know what the offers really are. We just see all these speculative things they're throwing out there. So I'm just saying, guys, it could still work. We just need to be patient. But I understand what D's saying. I definitely know how Jay Boogie feels about it. And I understand what Feats is saying when he says this is something that has to get done for the New York Knicks franchise. I understand what you're saying. I hear you.
D, I know for me, I think it's dangerous to think you're the only one in this competition. This is a 25-year-old star that they want to move. You have to think that there's more than just one team in the equation. He's not a guy on the back end of his trajectory. He's a guy in the midst of the upward aspect of his trajectory. Now, it could be maybe a year or two, maybe before it starts to go on a downward decline, but it's dangerous to think that you're the only one in the fight, in my opinion. That's just how that's what scares me about committing ourselves to just thinking, hey, we have all the leverage. When you got teams out there that want to make that jump, that have young assets and have no hesitation unloading their young assets to be relevant in markets so they can derive a lot of return on investment.
But the thing, Prof, is that we have the most attractive package for them. Yes. And also keep in mind, too, Donovan wants to come.
Yeah,
that's big.
That's big leverage. It is.
So it's a thing. Hey, Danny, make this work. I don't want no part of the rebuild.
Yeah, but I think you just got to be careful about, I don't know. I hear you, and I can't argue those points because 100% definitely he wants to come here. That's a big part of it. They owe it to Donovan to get him where he wants to go. Mm-hmm. So, I think that's important to keep in mind. But I just think it's dangerous. It's a dangerous space to be in because, there's got to be other teams that want him, and I know that they want him just about as bad as the Knicks do. And yes, Knicks probably have the best set of guys, but also take into consideration the Knicks are also willing to give the best. They may not be willing to give the most enticing package. Remember, they want to keep some of these young guys. You want to hold tight to them. Where you say Charlotte say, "I'll give you Book Knight, I'll give you Kai Jones, I'll give you a ton of young guys, and I'll give you picks." Right? Mm-hmm. They'd be like, "All right, we'll take it." So,
but as I said to you before,
yes,
even if that's the case, if say Charlotte can put together a package with better players, that's fine. The Knicks might be able to give you more picks. And from what's being said, see, this is the thing that really helps the Knicks in all of this. Danny Ainge wants picks, apparently. If Danny Ainge wanted players, then the Knicks might be a little up against it. Then they might have to say, okay, we got to give you this because if not, you can get good players from other teams, but they ain't got the picks. The fact that Danny Ainge wants the picks and he doesn't want to take on a lot of salary, he doesn't want to handicap himself. Plus, let's call it it is what it is. Danny Ainge wants Utah to start tanking. He's trying to get the lottery type picks. So, because what I mean. So you don't want to bring in that good of players into the organization because they're going to be winning games.
Charlotte's got picks, and Charlotte
they ain't got the Knicks picks though.
I'm looking at it right now.
I keep saying, and don't forget that Charlotte didn't. Who had a better record this past year, Charlotte or the Knicks?
Charlotte.
All right, so Charlotte is the same situation as the Knicks. Their value of their picks is no better. It's actually worse than the Knicks picks at the moment.
It is. But what I'll say is that they may have more desire and more willingness to do what the Knicks won't do.
Okay, But even
because
when
their
you say that,
desperation is way more extreme, and we talked about this.
you're right. No.
Their desperation is way more extreme than the
100%.
Knicks.
They got a lot going on in Charlotte.
They
But
haven't touched developing a pick in their existence.
Yeah,
Prof, listen,
but
this trade is happening.
yeah,
It's
I think
just a
it's
matter
happening
of
too.
when, and it's a matter of how they move the
I get
chess
you, Bruno.
pieces around the board. Sorry, Bruno. Go ahead.
Yeah,
No,
go
man.
ahead, Bruno.
It's just scary to me, That's all.
Yeah. But man, I think the Knicks have a lot of problems, of course, but the Knicks have a lot of things for example, to offer too. So I think the problem is that Donovan Mitchell wants to play in New York. I think this is the situation, and Charlotte.
Yes.
I don't see even they can keep LaMelo Ball there. I really think they will offer to him and a lot of money and maybe something in the future, but I don't see you understand. So I think the Charlotte have a lot of have a good situation too, but I think Knicks have more to offer for both sides. I'm not saying just for the Utah, but for Donovan Mitchell too. I think the problem is if the Knicks needs to offer the future. I think this is the problem I have. You understand? Trade the future for the present, because man, if the things don't work, this thing don't match, we need to get these guys and trade again. So it's rebuilding and rebuilding and rebuilding, and this never stop. Understand? So I think the Knicks, for example, the guy put here, I don't see this happen this way, but man, if the Knicks using these guys for Fournier, Derrick Rose, because they need to match the salary, and try to add another franchise in the trade or something like that, more picks, maybe they can do this happen. Man, imagine keep Grimes, and I'm not saying they will keep Grimes, but imagine if this happened. You understand?
Right.
So
yeah. Let me do that. Let me say one quick thing. Also shout out a couple people, and then I want to get to Jay Boogie's thoughts on what he thinks about this current thing that I'm going to bring up. First off, salute to Jay Tapp once again, and Chris S. I know I mentioned you before, but I wanted to highlight you guys again. Ashley Inc., appreciate you, always supporting. Eric G., appreciate you, thank you. I don't know if this is your first time tuning in, but thank you for being here. Antonio Colar, thank you for being here, appreciate you.
Brazil.
Yeah.
Brazil.
Oh, yeah?
My friend.
Yeah,
My friend.
okay. Antonio, what's going on, man?
Brazil here. Brazil here.
Yeah. Look at that. Okay, appreciate you. Thank you. Tapface NYC in the building. Appreciate you. Thank you for tuning in and rocking with us. And guys, if there's anybody tuning in that's new to the channel, hasn't been here before, definitely thank you for being here. Like, comment, subscribe if you like the content and want to come back and see more. We appreciate you. There's a lot of talented people up here on this panel. Knicks Fans Brazil has a channel. Bruno is his right-hand man, always doing it for him.
My superhero.
Yeah. They like the Ron and John of Brazil. They're really a really cool mix, right? We got Jay Boogie up here. He's the closer for a reason, man. He goes on everybody's show and he gives the spoken word, the thing that makes us feel good about it. He's a big Knicks fan. He's a hip hop dude. Hit you with that hot fire. He's got a great joint. Most recently for Obi. If you haven't checked it out, definitely check it out. Go to Jay Boogie on YouTube. Let me see if I can get a link for you. Feed Sports, my guy Prophet. He's I like to call him he's a jack of all trades because he's a sports junkie. He's analytical. He's very smart. He breaks down a lot of things. I mean, he's the type of guy that likes to be in fantasy drafts, but in GM mode. He likes the guts, the contracts, all that stuff. So that's how he thinks. That's why I'm glad he's one of my best friends, because we go back and forth all the time. And I got my guy, D is Ballin, D Poetic, aka D the Realist, aka D the Nick Analyst. I'm done with the AKAs, but D's World of Hoops in the building, and he's got a great channel. If you haven't checked it out already, definitely check it out, man. He's doing everything over there, as Jay Boogie pointed to earlier. He's giving you summer league coverage. He's giving you draft analysis, which he helped us out on Still Knicks Fans with too. He's doing breakdowns of other NBA teams. D is great because he's a Knicks fan, but he loves basketball, so he's open to doing analysis and breaking down teams all over the NBA. So definitely check out D's World of Hoops. Like, comment, and subscribe to his channel. Yeah, man. So it's definitely great to have everybody out here. So anybody new, check out all that stuff I mentioned. And if you like it here, like, comment, subscribe. We appreciate you. Thank you for tuning in. Now, back to my guy Andy N, who he put his trade offer out there, and he wanted to know what we thought about it. So I am going to put it back up on the screen. But from what I saw, he had mentioned a package that would include 4 first-round picks. Now, I'm just going to say this off the top of my head. I don't think 4 first-round picks will get it done. I think it has to be at least 5. I think that's what they're going to want, but we'll see. So he said 4 first-round picks. He said D Rose and Fournier. Those are the guys that make the money work, right? That makes the Donovan Mitchell contract kind of work together. And then Cam. First off, this package that you got here, Andy, I'm doing it in a nanosecond. Yeah. Done. What?
It will be rejected in a nanosecond as
well. Done. But I'm doing it from the Knicks side of it. I'm doing it. Yeah. But from the Utah side, this is not going to be enough.
Yeah.
They're going to want a couple, at least 2 of the Knicks young talent, and maybe 3. So if you want to include Cam in there, to me, Cam is the throw-in, guys. I know people love Cam for what he could be, his promise. But if I could put Cam there, and maybe I still got to come up off of Grimes, but putting Cam in there saves me Obi or Quickly. I could keep one of them because I ain't giving you both. So if I throw Cam in there, I can keep either IQ or I keep Obi. And then I'll give you 5 first-round picks because I know you don't just want 4. I mean, I think they got 5 for Rudy Gobert. So they want at least 5 for Donovan Mitchell.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So this is what I would say. That's what I would do. Like my trade offer ideally would be Fournier, D Rose. I give you Cam. I give you McBride. And I would give you IQ. I hate to say it, but I do it. That's what I would try to swing with them. They might want somebody else as well, but that's what I would try to swing. And I'd give them 5 or maybe even 6 picks to get it done. It is what it is. I want to keep Obi, okay? I want to keep Obi, and I'm not touching RJ. We know Randall's not going anywhere. And then the Jalen's, the Suggses, they're not going anywhere. I mean, Suggs. The Jalen and the Sims, they're not going anywhere. So that's what I would try to do. It's tough, guys. I don't know. Jay Boogie, what do you think, bro? What do you think about Andy's trade offer? Do you think it would be enough to get it done, or do you think that Utah would want more?
I like all trade scenarios. It's just about getting it done. But the only thing about that D Rose, I don't want to include D Rose in this Utah thing because Leon is letting it be known that he's great to maneuver things, and if he's great with maneuvering things. Whatever trade that I do with Utah, I don't want no trade swaps. And D Rose would be a type player we can use later on outside this Utah trade that we could trade something else to get another first-round pick next year. So I don't want to, use D Rose in nothing because his money comes off the book and he's healthy and he's ready to go and he's a vet guard that somebody can use. So I wouldn't want to use D Rose in this situation because I want to use him later on as a chip. You know what I'm saying? To get a pick back out this first round. When you was talking about Donovan, all his stats and all that, that's great. The numbers is great. He's deserving to be traded for. He's deserving, to be spoke upon as we're speaking upon him. But the most important, greatest thing about this guy is he's a great person. He's a great man, and that he's going to uplift and help our culture. He doesn't get into trouble. He know how to handle business inside a locker room. He don't get in trouble outside off the court. And he's so quiet that I'm willing to bet that when they said Donovan wasn't in nothing, and then they came back a couple of days and they said we'll take offers, to listen to Donovan, he probably didn't even call his agent. He probably called straight to Danny. Well, look, you already taking offers for me. I'm not going to be rah. I want up out of here. I don't know if he got a trade clause or no trade clause or what, maybe somebody can, find that out. But I'm guarantee you that he probably told that dude, well, I want up out of here. He probably told him he want the Knicks. But I think it's a reverse situation with the Knicks. I think the Knicks put a plan out there, you know what I'm saying, and said, yo, go find something better than us. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Instead of us, them telling us our plan ain't that good enough. You know, I think Leon might have put some pressure on Danny and told him, yo, figure out if you could do something better than us with the youth and no contracts and with the picks, and then come back and holler at us. I don't think Danny has found that way something that make him happy. The Charlotte thing is good, but you probably have to put that boy Rozier in it. Remember, Danny got rid of him. You know what I'm saying? A good thing with Evan, you know, he traded for Evan. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, we got some things on our side that can, you know what I'm saying, that can lead this thing over here. The thing is, you know, we've been talking about it all week about the nail. The nail just sits there, but you got to hit the hammer with the nail. You know, if it's sitting there, go ahead and wipe everybody out. One thing about us, we're in position. A lot of teams got to get in position and then try to make a trade. They got to make pretty much two situations. We don't have to make no situation. It is what it is, what we got, what we on the table. And I prefer Leon to stop hesitating. Wait, you're going to make the move, go ahead, do what you're going to do. If not, then let's move on and do something else. Let's not stay tied up, because for real, you can't allow people like Pat Riley to have this much long period of time to try to figure something out. And another thing is, Pat Riley really don't want the Knicks to get Donovan Mitchell. The Charlotte Hornets really don't want the Knicks to get Donovan Mitchell. The Chicago Bulls, they can't do nothing. They don't want the Knicks to get it. It's some teams that's up there in front of us that know if Donovan Mitchell comes over here with a new point guard we got, and we still got RJ that's coming along, and if we still got Julius and he comes back in here with his mindset, and we got Mitchell there, that's a potent five right there that you're going to have to deal with. So, you know, inside that middle of the pack, that 5-6 row, guess what? Things is going to get a lot tighter, and a lot of the situations going to shrunk. And that's what the people are trying to do. They're trying to keep the Knicks on the outside when we're on the door knocking on it. No, stop knocking on the door, you know what I'm saying? It's a burglary attempt. Kick the door in and go in there and go in and stash, and you know what I'm saying, and do what we got to do, Leon. That's all I'm asking, man. I'm ready to see us over with, move on to something else. That's me personally, you know what I'm saying? But if Donovan is there for us, man, Leon, go get this dude. If you're not going to go get this dude, figure out something else and let's do something else, man. I'm mindset on this Summer League championship, man. But, you know, I'm for whatever they want to do, man. Let's go ahead and get it done, man. But I think we're in front of a lot of people, but I don't want them to catch up to where we is, because Leon done great to put us in. This is part of his whole planning. He been planning this and putting it together, but some, you know, a lot of us, including me, I didn't see a lot of moves that he was making because, you know, I was more into getting upset with the things he was doing, and I wasn't seeing everything that was happening. He don't put his plan together, and it's right there. Only thing about putting a plan together is making it succeed. Don't put your plan together and just let it stay there. Do what you got to do, Leon. This is history, man. I mean, you think you just went to Dallas to go watch this boy Brunson? No, I'm going in and watch both of them. I'm bringing both of them back. That's a boss move, man. Get your job done, man. Handle yourself, Leon. But, yo, I got to get ready to step off, man. I love y'all guys. Continue on. You said Knicks fans Brazil, right? I'm going to go ahead and link onto your channel, you know what I'm saying, and get out there and rock with y'all. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. I want to make an interview with you in our channel. I make it, Derek, né? Do this world of hoops. I make it. Oops.
Okay.
Make interviews, né?
Okay. If you have a number, any type numbers or anything that you got swapped out with Ron can get it to me, or Ron can get you my number to you.
Unfortunately, you know, because he's in Brazil, I think the easiest way, Jay Boogie, is on Twitter.
Twitter.
And it's Knicks fans Brazil?
Yeah.
Nick fans BR. Como é que fala, Bruno?
Hey, I'm definitely on it. I'm on it. I'm getting ready to come holler at you and check you out, man. You know what I'm saying? But y'all continue to have a blessed weekend, man. You know what I'm saying? Enjoy yourself, man. Enjoy your life, man. Treat yourself, man. Love your loved ones, man. Appreciate life, man. You know what I'm saying? We get one shot at it, man. Live it like you're supposed to live it, man. Shout out to the chat and everybody rocking this orange and blue. Salute, salute, salute. 3 capital S's.
All right. Thank you.
Appreciate you, Jay Boogie, as always, brother.
Man.
No doubt, man.
All right. So,
hold on, bro. I have like 50,000 things I wanted to say.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead, Vic. Go first.
It's quickly. I want to talk about Derrick Rose, man. I saw in post, man, in Alan. Derrick Rose is like a family, man. It's hurts my heart. Derrick Rose out, man. Yeah. My heart, man. Hurts my heart.
There you go.
Derrick Rose leave the Knicks, but I understand. If Derrick Rose involved in this trade, I understand, man. But hurts.
It would be tough. I know. Everybody likes Derrick Rose. He's a good guy, and we appreciate his story, everything he's been through. And he came to the Knicks twice. After the first time wasn't that great, and he still decided to come back. And it's been much better since he's been here, except the fact that he's been hurt. But he's been good for us. He was really important for us in that game, that season where we made it to the 4th seed and got into the playoffs. So always appreciate Derrick Rose. D, what were you gonna say?
Appreciate it. I'm just gonna say this and then I gotta wrap it up. A couple of things I want to say. One, I get the divide, and you see it today with the chat. The chat is literally divided on this, and I get both sides. I really get it, and I'm more inclined to go with develop the youth. Develop the draft picks, wait out, right? But the thing is that the Knicks don't do it. They have not done it. So why not just swing for the fences, go over the luxury tax? It's the best option at this point. Now, here's a great question. If you're going to do all this for for Donovan, right? And knowing at his defensive limitations, knowing his height, knowing that he might have a time expiration as to how dynamic he'll be on the wing because of his size, right? Mm-hmm. Why not just go for KD?
Well, I think to me, the honest and most realist answer with regards to KD is KD doesn't want to be a Knick. I just think that's the bottom line. And if KD comes here, we've seen that KD and Kyrie are very destructive personalities. He can make this situation really blow up if we get him here.
And they want a bigger haul, don't they?
Yeah, they want a big haul, but I think they would have to a
ridiculous haul.
Yeah, I don't know what they would get because that's the reason why they haven't moved them. They haven't gotten any offers that look, comfortable enough to even pull the trigger. Yeah. So I don't know. We might be able to. Knicks might have enough to possibly get them, but you talking about? See, this is where it gets a little different. That trade that looked crazy to me, them 5 picks and all those young Knicks for Donovan, no, but for KD. KD's the best player in the NBA. That's tough. That's a hard one to say no to. But if you do that, not only are you bringing in a guy who may not want to be here, you're also bringing in an older guy. So the window is closing quick. And how fast can you build around KD to get a winner? Because KD wants a winner. He don't just want to be on some team that's good.
On his roster. Good point.
Right. So that's the other thing. That's the reason why I think the KD thing doesn't work. And Kyrie is just too volatile. So the best star type player that's out there and who could possibly turn into a superstar is Donovan Mitchell at age 25, going to be 26 soon. He's the best option for the Knicks, at least for the next 2 years. Yeah. Next year, there's no option that's really going to work. And most of those guys are probably going to re-sign anyway. Mm-hmm. You're talking about free agent class of Middleton, Andrew Wiggins, guys like that. I mean, do you want any of those guys? I mean, Middleton is really good. Don't get me wrong, but do you want him above Donovan Mitchell? I don't know. It's a little iffy. Yeah. I mean, Donovan Mitchell's had to carry a team. Middleton's never had to carry a team. He's had Giannis. He's a great complementary piece. He's the Robin to Giannis's Batman. But can he be a Batman? I don't know.
So I'm sorry. I just want to wrap it up because I gotta go. That I don't want KD either. Let's get that straight. So I don't. This whole scenario stinks. It goes against everything I would ever do in building an organization. Point blank. And that's the whole Donovan Mitchell thing too. But if this is what you are gonna do, right? You have to go all in. And you have to go over the luxury tax. Have the Knicks done it before? Yes. I actually had a show where I highlighted all the times that they did do it. The thing is that when you look at what they did, it was poorly constructed teams, bro. And none of them really had the dynamicism that Mitchell has right now at 25. And there wasn't a deficient player on the court like Jalen Brunson is in the mid-range to restricted area part of his game. So that's the thing. The thing is, defensively, you're not going to go anywhere. That's it. And you have to go ahead and get guys that are going to come in and take the best perimeter defenders in this league. Here's the problem. You can't trade the other guys because the value ain't there. And number two, you're not going to have enough flexibility in your cap in order to get those people, even if you go over the luxury tax. So It's a crappy situation. But if you're going to do it, just go all in and just do it. And I'll end it at that. Another thing too, Prof, Ainge, how he did Boston is how he's going to do Utah. What do you do? As soon as he got there, you go ahead. I mean, as soon as the time came, he got all those guys out of there. He allocated all those draft picks, and it took a while. But as you see right now, it's paying off dividends. Brad Stevens just put the sprinkles on the cake that Danny Ainge had made there. That's just the fact.
I got a question before you go, D, and then for everyone else. So I was looking around, doing what I do. So I got two teams, Cleveland and I was looking at Charlotte. I'm trying to think of places where it would fit, you know? I think Cleveland could use a potent two-guard to help out there. Now, Colin, is he on the RFA or was he UFA this
No, he's RFA.
Okay. My hope, if I was Cleveland, was like I could go get Donnie and then somebody would sign him to an offer sheet. Not gonna but I know. But to think that would be a really nice fit there. So if I was a Cleveland, I'd say, hey, could we potentially do something here? Swap element? I don't know.
I don't think they have enough.
They got picks, and to be honest, like I don't think they're going to not give as many picks as Utah asked for. It just means it goes deeper and longer down the road. That's about it. But if Utah's like, I'll give you 6, I need 6 picks. They're a team that's on the trajectory that is now competitive now. He could take them to another step, and it looks good for them. They still got Jared. They got guys. They got Mobley. So he fits right in. He's 25. Yeah, it's even a better fit for him, honestly, for him.
So you're saying a plan B of going
would Utah's plan B potentially Cleveland? Could it be Cleveland? Could Utah's plan B be Cleveland because of the fit element?
Well, I mean, so what you're doing is throwing out a trade scenario that would benefit Utah, would exclude the Knicks, though. You're talking about Utah. But why would Cleveland want to do that when Cleveland made some really good strides to improve the team last year? Garland became the number 1 guy. And
got a full extension, by the way.
Right. And they've picked up some good players, some good young players in the draft to kind of fill out the rest of their roster that they had questions about. Why would they want to go out and go? Because remember, that's a big step. If Cleveland's going for Donovan Mitchell, then they're thinking they got a shot to go in right now. And I don't know if they feel like they're ready for that yet. They're on the ascend, but if you look at the top teams in the Eastern Conference, Miami, Chicago, Boston, Milwaukee, I just had another name that I'm forgetting, but whatever. There's like 5 or 6 teams, and if Brooklyn has to hold on to KD and Kyrie, and Ben Simmons comes back healthy, let me tell you, Brooklyn is going to be a good team. They may not be happy with each other, but they'll be playing good basketball. So that's another team like that, and Cleveland's not better than none of those teams. Could they be better? Yeah, you can win. You could beat any team on any given night. But consistently, those teams are going to be running. So even if you add Donovan to that mix, they become a much better team. But are they ready to go for that right now? And how much money? What's their cap situation looking like? Do they want to give up all those picks? They're still growing, and those players are balling out. They got young talent that's doing it for them. I don't know. I just don't think Cleveland needs to do anything at the moment.
let me go.
Well, D,
Let me get out of here, guys. Have a great day.
Oh,
Okay.
wait, D. I'm sorry. I don't want. Let me, because Bruno wanted to ask you one question before you go.
I'm sorry,
Bruno, go ahead, Bruno.
Sorry, big guy. Go ahead.
No, yeah. Just a little question. Because when we're talking about the trade and everything, I think the Knicks, for example, need to keep the young core or the picks. But I think the Utah want the picks. So
Yes.
I think I'm thinking they don't. They need to do this for don't trade the future. Understand? For example, even the Knicks don't keep these guys. For example, quickly Obi and these guys. Maybe they involve in another trade in the future. So, what do you think the Knicks need to do? For example, you think the Knicks doesn't matter the result? For example, if it's appear in the table, okay, we trade everything, or you think maybe try to keep so hard one or both of them? For example, maybe the picks or maybe the young core. What do you think about it?
Well, the picks and the young core would have to be required in order for it to happen. Now, whether the severity of that, whether it's a lot of the young core or a lot of draft capital or vice versa, it's still going to have to happen that way, because that's just how Danny Ainge operates, and he knows how to build an organization for the ground up. He did it in Boston. So he will do the same thing again. I understand that you don't want to give that up and mortgage that, but keep in mind, though, good news. If you give up 6 for first-round picks, for example, you still have 15, 16, 17 picks through 2030. That's including first and second, and half of those being first. So you still got a future if you go ahead and do it. So it may not be. I understand that you guys have attachments to certain of these guys like Grimes and Obi and IQ, and I understand that. And like I said, if it was me, I would continue going for the ground up and building it that way. It would take longer, but it will be more sustainable. This is the route that they want to choose. That's fine. But the thing is that, here's the big thing. The big thing is that it's how the culture operates. This is how the culture operates. Look throughout the history. Besides Patrick Ewing and Walt Kai Frazier and those guys from 50 years ago, this is how they operate. So I may want it a certain way, Prof may want it a certain way, may want it a certain way, but this is how they operate. So this is how I know this move is going to be made. They are going to do it. They are going to mortgage a good portion of the draft capital. I could see a 75% to 65% of the young core going. And we're probably, and if he asked me last night, he said, D, where do you think we're going to go with this? I said 7th, 8th seed, maybe 6th best. And we'll be knocking in the second round with this. So
I got something for y'all.
So I don't think it's going anywhere.
I got something for y'all. So now I worked out a trade offer. Should work. I'm just gonna test it. Okay. Really quick. Yep.
And while you're doing that, let me just say salute once again to Paris Duggar. Thank you for the generous super chat. Ainge wants picks. He says we have 11 and 8 are tradable first round picks. And this is all within the next 7 years. These 11 picks, something like that. So go ahead, Prophet. Thank you, Parrish. Once again, appreciate you, brother.
If I was Utah and I could get 4 first rounders in the next 4 years, okay, I could get Agbaji, Okoro, and Karis LeVert on an expiring contract instead of the Knicks trade, because the Knicks aren't going to give me what that 10, the 4 players, the 5 players, and the 6 picks, and they want to come down on their offer. What do you think? Which trade do you think Utah would do? Like a watered down version of that trade that they declined, obviously, because they want to go back. Or would they take a Karis LeVert on an expiring contract, Ochai Agbaji, Isaac Okoro, right? Both 21, 22-year-olds, and 4 first rounders.
That wouldn't be that would be better. As far as the young, but hold on. Let me say this real quick, because this is where I want to put this to bed. What? Still Knicks fans. We're a Knicks channel. Oh, why is he giving us trades for other teams? I don't know. Oh, okay, my bad.
Hey, I just want to make sure. I'm trying to get Rose to make this trade now.
No, hold on. No, I'm just joking. He's one of my best friends, guys. I play with him all the time. That's cool.
I want the pressure on him.
Anyway,
I want the pressure on him.
Yeah. No, here is why I'm telling you that doesn't matter. Let's not forget, Danny Ainge he didn't build the Utah Knicks. He just came to Utah, right? Donovan Mitchell was there before Ainge. Donovan Mitchell, to the point where Jay Boogie mentioning, Donovan Mitchell's a good guy. He doesn't rock the boat. Even with everything that happened with Rudy Gobert, the stupidness with the COVID, all that stuff that happened, he still tried to remain quiet. The story got out there that he wasn't happy, yes. But he even squashed the beef and was cool with him while they were on the team, even after all that. Donovan Mitchell was a good guy. One of the reasons why Donovan grew unhappy in Utah is because Donovan had initiatives and things he wanted to do throughout the community that he wanted Utah to be a part of, and they haven't given him the full backing. So there's ideas that he has to build the community up in different programs, and they haven't given him the full backing. That was one of the reasons. The other reason, obviously, is Gobert and the fact that they're not winning over there, blah, blah, blah. You know the story. So what I'm trying to tell you guys is, and especially you, Prophet, is that Danny Ainge so far has shown respect to a guy who has shown respect for him and for the organization. So I think that Danny Ainge, while he's still trying to acquire as much talent as possible, he's trying to do right by Donovan Mitchell. He ain't going to send Donovan Mitchell somewhere that he doesn't really want to go. Donovan Mitchell has already said Miami's interesting. The Knicks are interesting. I don't know if he mentioned any other teams, but those are the two teams we know about. Yeah. Out of all of this stuff that you're saying, you just brought up Cleveland's package. Yeah, Cleveland could put together a really good package. You know who could put together a great package? OKC. But why would they want to do that when it would change their process? OKC could go get Donovan Mitchell right now. They got all types of picks and they got young talent. Go get them right now. They could do it whenever they want. Certain teams are just not going to do that because it changes their process, what they've got going on and what they're trying to do. And I don't think Danny Ainge will want to do that to Donovan Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell doesn't want to go to OKC. I'm not going to send you over there. You've been a good guy. I'm going to try to do right by you. If I can't and you handicap me and you want to go out there in the public and talk about you want to be traded and all this and you want to act a certain way, that's different. But Donovan Mitchell has been great. So you got to try to do right by your stars.
Good point.
That was my biggest point.
And here's another thing too.
Mike drop.
I agree.
And here's another thing to keep in mind too. Is that somebody brought it up in the chat before? You still have Rokus's drafting stash.
Yeah, we do.
In there too.
Yeah, we do.
So that might be able to let us keep one of those first protected and stuff like that Milwaukee 2025 or something like that, and see if that could be maneuvered somehow, or never know how the chips may lay on that year. So
that's true.
So anyway, guys, let me get out of here.
All right, brother. Thank you. Hey. D, appreciate you as always. You know you always welcome here. We rock till the wheels fall off, brother. I appreciate you as always.
I appreciate
Derek, I want to see you back in our channel too, man. I want you back.
Of course.
Together, Bruno together with us in our channel.
No doubt. Like I said, we could do something towards the beginning of the season and stuff like that. We could do like a season preview or something like that if you guys want to. So cool. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Also, tomorrow, on at 12 o'clock, we're going to be talking about this discussion. I'm going to be talking about both sides of it because nobody's wrong in this situation. You guys bring up legitimate points on both sides. But the big thing in the middle is that what is it that our organization does, and that should we be floating and trending towards that way and not try to fight the wave. So that's my last thoughts. Guys, have a great day. Ron, enjoy the show. Shout out to the Still Knicks family. Prof, we're going to talk big Vic going global with the Knicks brand. Appreciate you. Bruno, I'll speak to you again. Guys, have a great day.
All right, man.
Thanks, D. Appreciate you as always.
Thanks, man.
And I'm about to wrap up too, guys. Maybe another 8 minutes. Let me get to the 3-hour mark, make it nice. Let me say salute and shout out to Brian L. in the chat, Fabian Williams, my guy, Don P. Don P., I missed you today, brother. Thank you for always saluting and tuning in, rocking with the show. My guy, Drugs. What's good, Drugs? Appreciate you, man. Drugs is a really talented dude, guys. He does a lot of hip-hop rapping as well. And if you don't know who Drugs is, you just think of that famous line from the opening for Nothing But Knicks. When Sim passed the assist, it's nothing but swish. That's Drugs, man. He's the one who does that rap. So he's the opening for Nothing But Knicks. Big Shiesty, appreciate you, brother. Thank you for tuning in. Alton Lee, always a pleasure to see you. 27 is in the building. My guy Akuma is in the building. Appreciate you. Thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate the love. And the support as always. Guys, smash that like button. I don't even know where the likes are right now, but if you haven't smashed that like button, definitely hit that like button. Thank you. I appreciate the support. It helps us, the YouTube algorithms, know, hey, they got something going on over there. Let's keep rocking with them. So I appreciate that. Thank you. So before we get out of here, I just wanted to
run. Sorry.
Oh yeah.
I want to make a last question for you.
Oh yeah, sure.
And Fit Sports too. I want, but I will need Bruno help me in English, okay? I want Bruno help me in this question, okay?
Okay.
One thing. Shout out to Building Blocks. I'm sorry. I know we Feats mentioned you before, but I never gave you your proper shout out. You deserve that, brother. Thank you, Building Blocks. Go ahead, Victor.
I won't make this question, but Bruno help me in English, okay? I speak in Português. Bruno, quero perguntar para eles que eu vi uma matéria no New York Post falando, né, sobre que o Knicks não tem um time com 2 jogadores criativos, porém baixos, desde a época de 90, quando nós tínhamos John Starks e Derek Harper. E que não tínhamos um time tão divertido, né, de se ver jogar. Qual a opinião deles a respeito dessa matéria do New York Post, né, comentando que ele exalta que, por mais que a gente fale da defesa, Bruno, seriam 2 jogadores muito criativos para armar jogadas, como, por exemplo, foi nos anos 90 com Derek Harper e John Starks.
Yeah, Victor mentioned what he saw in the New York Post. And there they talking about the Knicks don't have a 2 guard, for example, like Brunson and Mitchell. Since, for example, say the creative guys, they were high IQ in basketball, play with fun and this type of things. Since Starks and Derek Harper. So what do you think about this post, and what do you think about this?
Go ahead, Prophet.
I'll go. I definitely think they have to, again, there's pressure to take advantage of this opportunity to get Donovan. And that's just another, reason that supports why they have to make sure this happens. Again, like I've been saying all day, I'm just concerned that if they don't do it fast or soon, the opportunity will pass. Because I just don't feel like in this league, they let you have that opportunity to just sit in a position like that. Like there are other savvy GMs, very competitive GMs, going to be creative and potentially entice, Ainge if the Knicks play hard to get for too long. I definitely think that this would be the best backcourt they've had in a long time. Could be backdated to that time as well. It would also be a short lineup, but that was also a shorter lineup. Starks, I think, was 6'3". Harper was, I think, 6'3". So
Starks was 6'5".
6'5". I don't know.
Well, listen, that's what it was. It was 6'4.5". They gave him 6'5". I get you.
So, just like Donovan, they said some places said he was 6'3". But anyway, right. So the key is here. I think that these teams need to make sure that that it's done. That is done, and I think that's a really big thing that needs to happen now, ASAP. So get the trade done. Let's stop messing around with the particulars of this guy, that guy. When if you keep an Obi, he's still going to be stuck behind Randall. Okay? If you keep an IQ, he's still going to be stuck behind Brunson. It's just the honest truth. So you're keeping him to be more frustrated with their output. So just let's go get our guy. Maybe stash get as a BK in there, something like that, something that would fit in the backup role. Doesn't need a lot of minutes, doesn't need a lot of volume, and that's acceptable. And you never know, like that. I just really think I just wanted to get done because my greatest fear, unfortunately, the Knicks have a track record of being on the outside looking in, and they don't want this opportunity to pass by. So that's all I'm saying.
I hear you. I mean, that's a really good point. I get it, and I know a lot of Knicks fans. Not that you're a Knicks fan, but I understand where you're seeing it when you have an opportunity like this, and you had this function and never really been able to put together a good, solid young team
man.
with talent. It's tough. So yeah, I get why it's important to do it. And I agree.
Head out. I'm just
Yeah, we're about to head up. I'm about to wrap it up right now.
Okay, I'm gonna hang tight.
Yeah. So I agree. I think that it's something we got to do. We haven't had that type of talent and smart IQ type players who know how to play basketball, do what they got to do. And Starks was my favorite player on the Knicks. So I definitely want to see, them get in a situation where they can acquire this talent and take us to another level, and then maybe we build from there. But and I also know, like I said, I know all the points. I know everybody's feeling on everything. The goods, the pros, the cons, the bads. But I think we can make it work. And the important part is to get it done, and then we can figure it out. Because if we don't get it done, there's nothing to figure out. We're still looking for a star talent somewhere else. As much as I think, let me say, shout out to Pete Panagiotopoulos in the chat. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you as always. He mentioned something about Donovan Mitchell being a little better version of Terry Rozier. Terry Rozier can score. I think he's really good at, he has shown clutch moments, but I can't say that he's shown the clutch moments I've seen from Donovan Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell's playoff runs, he has been really clutch. And we don't know what Donovan Mitchell's prime is yet. He's getting close to it. He's not there yet. So if you put him on the Knicks team with better offensive players around him, whether he doesn't have to be the guy every single night, you might see the best you've ever seen Donovan Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell might become the best player, one of the best players in the league. He might be in the MVP competition, the conversation. We don't know. So I'm just saying that's the difference. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But I just want to say thank you to everybody. TTID forever. Appreciate you. Danny Landis, I apologize, bro. I know you're just joining in, but we're about to get up out of here. So thank you for tuning in. Definitely watch the replay. This was a great show. So this is one of those you definitely want to watch the replay. Look at our guests that we had here. No Cap Sports Talk. Thank you. Troy Flett, thank you for being here. Appreciate you guys. So I just want to shout out everybody. Thank you guys for tuning in and rocking with me. You guys help make this show what it is. I appreciate y'all. I try to give y'all as much feedback as I can. The show is growing. The chat is growing. The numbers are growing. And so it's a little harder to reach everybody. You can see I try my best to still shout y'all guys out while I can. I'll do my best, but it's going to be tough. I hope we continue to grow. So, I'll try to give you as many shout outs as I can. But thank you guys once again. Any final words, Victor?
Yes. I want thank you, appreciate, entering this live, with you. Man, I love your job, bro. I love your job. You
thank
and
you,
John.
buddy.
I want to invite Fit Sports 2, man. Come to my channel, our channel, talking with me
I would
and
love
Bruno.
to. That'd be good.
Later,
we'll make it happen.
I want your contact. I want your contact.
Definitely.
And I just want to thank you. Just say thank you, man. Thank you, Ron. Thank you, John, from Knicks fans, still Knicks fans. And Derek, stay with us. I love your job too, Derek. And Bruno, it's my superhero in our channel. Help me, with translate. My English it's like Randall in this card, but I will be better in the future. And I have and I have Bruno in our channel. So my American friends, subscribe in our channel too, man. Brazil wants makes grow up Knicks fans in Brazil, man. So thanks so much, guys. Thanks so much, and appreciate.
Thank you, Bruno. Any final words?
Yeah, man. Just say thank you. Appreciate you all. it was a great show, of course. And a lot of guys with a lot of great point views. Yeah, and it's good to know, to learn what the people think about it, the Knicks and the different parts, and this is really good for us. And man, was incredible. I just need to say thank you for all you guys.
Nope. Bruno and Nick, Vic, that's for you. Ultimately, just subscribe. So that's for you guys.
Opa.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. And shout out to OCD Shaggy. Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate you. And you know, I can't say. Oh, there it is. Shout out to AO as well. AO in the chat. Thank you for tuning in. Yeah, like I said, guys, if you're just joining in late, you know, feel free to go back and watch the beginning of the show. The conversation was great. Everything that you've been thinking about as a Knicks fan with regards to Donovan Mitchell, I think we talked about it and covered it. We went over a lot. So if you feel a certain way, like you just tuned in right now and you didn't hear what you was thinking you was going to hear, we probably said it already. So go back and watch. Thank you guys, as always. Frank Matos, what's going on? Appreciate you, brother. Thank you guys, as always. Appreciate you. This has been a great show. Thank you to my guests, Prophet from Feet Sports, Victor Hatchback from Knicks Fans Brazil, my guy Bruno from Knicks Fans Brazil, D Poetic, D's is balling, whatever you want to call him, from D's World of Hoops. Thank you to him. Thank you to Jay Boogie. Appreciate you, as always. The closer. He's always you know, a big part of the Knicks community, man. Salute to him. Hulk TV, I see you. Yankees Morning Brew, I see you, brother. Thank you, brother. Yeah, man. So guys, thank you. I will see you on the next one, which will probably be the Monday weekly show. So stay tuned. Oh, and don't forget to watch D's World of Hoops tomorrow at 12 noon. And hopefully these Knicks can get it done, man. Maybe we'll have Donovan Mitchell. Maybe the Knicks will win the Summer League championship. It'll be all good news in Knickland. All right. Thank you.
Sure.
Take care. Have a great rest of your Saturday. We'll see you on the next one.
Bye.